right now.
Little pig, let us in. What is up, Friday Nighters? Welcome back to another episode of Just Another Friday Night. I am CM Chuck, one of your two hosts. Alongside me, as always,
Double A.
The immaculate one, Double A, Adamantium Adam.
The vaccinated one.
The vaccinated one, fully vaxxed now.
Fully vaxxed.
Right on.
Yeah.
Guys, and if you don't know, our special guest tonight, our good friend here, Lucille, is in the house, and she is thirsty. Guys, I mean, you know how we like to do the format here. We start out the show with letting you join us on our Facebook Live. I don't have my headphones on yet, so screw up my little look here I'm going for, but you could probably get a hint if you know one of the things that we're a huge fan of. Looking at Double A's shirt there, obviously, The Walking Dead, but specifically the season finale of the most recent season.
Well, I don't even know. I think they said this was like, what, bonus episodes, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's not even part of like the last season, right?
No.
Like the last season starts later this year. Okay.
But it's going to be a short one, right? I think a short.
No, it's going to be 24 episodes.
Really?
But I think they're going to break it up to like Soprano style. So
okay. Which is fine. I like it. The more we get them, the better. You know what I mean? So.
But the episode that we were looking forward to out of all of these 6 episodes was the episode entitled "Here's Negan."
Here's Negan.
We were finally going to kind of see the origin story in TV adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, one of our favorite guys. You know, a lot of people don't like the Negan character. We like the Negan character.
Big
we
fans.
love the Negan character.
Big fans.
We tried meeting him. If you go back to our, I think our Wrath of Khan episode, you can hear our frustrations of not meeting him.
Well, we got to meet him, but we didn't get to get a picture.
We didn't get a picture.
So that's
and CM had dressed just like this. It was going to be so fucking cool, you know, a picture, you know, but
he did compliment me and said, "You're looking good."
He did. And he even got kind of into a scuffle with
Carrie Payton.
Ezekiel.
Yeah. He said I was dressed wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, get this guy out of here."
Carrie Payton was like right next to Negan, and I felt bad because like Jeffrey Dean Morgan had this long line.
Yeah.
And then Norman Reedus was right next to him, and he had a long line. And Carrie Payton, I mean, he had a decent line, but it was no Negan, no Daryl line. So
I mean, that was quite the day, right? TAA, where we had in the same row of guys. You know what I mean? You had Mark Hamill.
We had Tim Curry at the very end. We had the Walking Dead guys here. Then we had like Adam West and what's Robert's name?
Burt Ward.
Which man, they still carried a lot of weight. They still had a lot of people in that line. That was like ridiculously long. Adam West always had long lines. And then on the furthest end was Mark Hamill, which had an insane line.
They were grouping people, right? And
they were grouping
the line.
Yeah, but it was like, golly, even if you had like a ticket, you were still not guaranteed a Mark Hamill autograph. So it was a very frustrating day. And then on the opposite end, you had Alan, what's his name? I don't know how to say his last name. The one from Rogue One.
From Rogue One.
The droid.
Tudyk. Alan Tudyk.
Yes, Tudyk. Yeah. So that Rogue One had just came out. So he was ridiculously long. Then you had Biff from Back to the Future.
That's right. I forgot that he
was there too.
Yeah.
Then you had the Green Ranger right next to him. Always carries a lot of weight too. And then on this side was the whole cast of Rocky Horror with Meatloaf, everything. So it was bad. It was a bad spot. Thousands of people there, and
lots of people,
lots of Negans, lots of We Are Negans.
I was not the only Negan there by a long shot. So there was girl Negans, guy Negans.
Man, I had never seen that much. I mean, this was at his peak.
I mean, this is pretty much. In fact, that next day they went and did the Talking Dead. And it was the season 7 finale.
Yeah.
So that kind of played a part in us not getting to get our picture with Jeffrey
Dean
Morgan.
They said some storm was coming, which we were in Dallas, and there was no damn storm that came. So I don't know what the story was. So, but Daryl stayed as long as he could.
They did.
Norman Reedus did for sure.
Yeah. And I think they were on the same flight because they took pictures later on their Instagram. They sat next to each other.
So the other frustrating too was like they were like 2 hours late already. Right. So me, CM, my wife, we were standing there for like about 4 hours before he even came. You know, and
it was quite the day. The day at the con. And guys, it ended up your brother was with us. His wife. we were abandoned. It ended up just being the last 2 men standing right here.
So my brother and my sister-in-law finally did like their first Comic-Con, and that was going to be their last because of the bad experience at Dallas Comic-Con.
And man, you had already prepaid for you and your wife for
I did.
Jeffrey D. Morgan and Daryl, and
my wife couldn't take it. She was tired already. So I told CM, hey man, if you want to stick it out with me, you're more than welcome to come into this picture. You know, I got both of them. But man, the organization there was just horrible.
Guys, they ran out of food. They ran out of bottled water. Like people were looking like they were like laid out in the foyer area, like trying to get snacks, like or anything, and there was nothing to be found. Man. And that kind of little area where it's at in Dallas at that convention center is like, I don't know. We didn't venture outside, but I don't know if there's stuff around nearby where you can go, like travel easily to go get.
I'm sure there is, but see, the thing was that I made this stupid mistake. My buddy was living in Arlington, and for some reason, I thought Arlington was just a short step away from downtown Dallas. It's a whole fucking hour to get there. So no, it was horrible. It sucked. Just knowing that we had an hour to ride. Ahead of us after the whole thing was frustrating too to even think about. And the funny thing too is that, you know, so they rent out a group. You can have both of them. You can take a picture of both of them, but they'll sold out quick. So I had to buy the singles, and they're more expensive than the combos. But then like that day they sold the combos all over again. So I was pissed. Well, anyways, they had to go. I tried haggling with the handler, saying, look, I bought both of them. If I could have, I would have bought the damn combo. I actually paid more for singles. Individuals. Why don't you just let me and see him here, just take a pic with both of them?
Because we're like, let's just get the one pic.
You know, we got both of them.
At this point.
I'm like, we got both of them. You know, I paid more.
Did you get an autograph from Daryl? From
Yes, we did. No. We had got him in Houston. Luckily.
That's right. Yeah.
So we didn't need him.
I didn't get his autograph because I was going to do one line or the other. So I waited in Jeffrey D. Morgan's line, and I actually have a great the official AMC replica bat, the Negan bat, signed by him. He signed it in black for me, whatever. But it was pretty cool. So I have that with the certificate of authenticity. And this one is real. I made this one. This is right. I'm being careful because I don't want to nick myself or double A
or
here,
scratch the computer,
or anything like that. So we're gonna move Lucille over here, so we need her later on.
The one you can't hold.
There you go, right here. Now this one you can just bang your own head. And this is a beaut because
that is the McFarlane AMC one.
If you see right here, this is where Jeffrey D. Morgan signed this for AA. And he says that's his name. It says Negan, and then he also wrote a little
Jeffrey D. Morgan. Yeah, and then he put congratulations on your new house, which I bought many years ago already. So,
and your wife let him know that you.
And she did. Yeah, she made sure that he knew.
Very cool. Very cool.
And just like CM said, the certificate of authenticity, signature verified. Right there.
Did you get the little card with this picture?
Yes, I did.
I have that. I keep that inside.
It's in my Supernatural book.
Nice.
That he signed.
Nice. So. Oh, that's right, because you're a big fan.
I'm a huge Supernatural fan. And of his character John Winchester. So.
Speaking of, I know you're a Supernatural fan. Check the comments too, double. Did you watch the Scooby-Doo one? They did a Scooby-Doo
episode? Yes, I did. That was good.
So I bring this up, guys, because tonight, after we're done recording our show, we're going to be doing something really awesome. And we're going to be on a friend of the show's show, a show called Totally Rad Christmas with Jerry Davila. He's one of the Friday Nighters guys, one of the Friday Night Faithful. But this guy is pretty much a podcasting legend, also from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Had we had known Jerry then, we could have got the heads up from him. But he comes highly recommended from Friday Nighter Joe. Joe Martinez just did an episode with them all about the Scooby-Doo Christmas episode. So there was so much stuff listening to that episode that I learned I didn't know. I didn't know about that Scooby-Doo crossover. So I went to go look up that clip or whatever. And is it Dean that's kind of got the hots for Daphne and now? And so it's a really hilarious show, guys. Go listen to Joe on Totally Rad Christmas. It's him and then another Friday Nighter, Anthony Caruso, who comes from Tis the Podcast. Guys, if you didn't know this, there are podcasts that are just about Christmas year round. And Jerry's is really cool, Totally Rad Christmas, because it focuses on Christmas in the 80s. So if you're around our age, you totally have very vivid memories of being a kid in that time. And Christmas at that time was like a whole nother thing, right? It was like, I mean, the time of the Turtles, the time of...
You guys ever seen Toys That Made Us? You know how ridiculously the toy business was at that time.
Yeah. And Jerry's put up a couple of great posts in the Friday Night Faithful Facebook group. Guys, go check them out. I even posted a couple of pics of my sister, regarding what we're going to be talking about on Jerry's episode tonight. We're going to record that with him. He does some editing in his, and then he'll release it later. So yeah, definitely, man.
I was going to tell you too that Lucille actually shows up in Supernatural.
That's right. You did mention that to me. Yeah.
And Dean picks it up. It's like all covered in blood. He's like, "Oh, this was always Dad's favorite," and it's a bat and barbed wire. So I was like, "That's really cool."
How excellent is that? Yeah. And my girlfriend last night and Friday nighter Foxy Roxy and Friday nighter Ann, they actually went to go see JDM in the Unholy. Last night or whatever.
Unholy.
They said it was a good jump scare flick. They actually braved it and went to the theater, our local theater here, City Based Cinema. They said it was very socially distanced, very clean, and very not a lot of people. So. A good movie theater, return to the movie theater to experience it. We haven't even done that yet, gone back to the movies.
No.
So, But guys, what do we got in the comments, Sam? Let me start.
Okay, Joe says, "What's up, boys?" Joe said CM Punk would take the Green Ranger. I got to disagree with you, Joe, after seeing CM Punk actually fight. I'm pretty damn sure the Green Ranger could take him. Joe says, "Okay, boys, game's on. Got to go." So, Joe, see ya. And then Richard's here. He says, "What up, guys? What's up, Richard?" So some news that you probably saw, CM, I think you shared it first, was Loki. The Loki TV show, man. I like the premise.
Yes.
Kind of like he's outside of time.
Right.
That is fucking cool.
So he's totally working another angle there.
That's totally different. I was not expecting that kind of show. So and that's why I have the Loki issues up right here.
Cool. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, so tribute to Loki.
How are you doing with Falcon and Winter Soldier?
So I'm still not caught up, but
that's all right.
But I've been reading everything that they're giving that Wyatt Russell a whole bunch of shit, and that he's actually been getting death threats. One of our Friday Nighters, Leo, put that there that he's just getting death threats for some stupid reason. Guys, it's not Cap. Calm down.
I know
there has been other versions of Cap.
Yeah.
Even Cap didn't go by Cap all the time. He went by U.S. Agent sometimes.
Right. So and he was just Steve Rogers. It's a great solo Steve Rogers story.
So chill out.
He doesn't even wear the mask. Yeah, he doesn't wear the mask or carry the shield. Yeah, guys, if you know anyone that is in that toxic fandom shit, man, cut that shit out. This guy's a great actor. He's doing a good job.
It's a show called Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's not in the movie. Yeah. Calm down.
I don't want him to be Cap either or whatever. I like disliking him, but you don't go
he's
to
that other one, from what I understand. He's that John something. The one Walker. Who took over. Yeah, the one who took over Cap for a little bit. When the government stripped the Captain America identity away.
That's right.
They gave it to him.
That's right.
Well, it's in the comics.
Today's episode was really, really kick-ass. So, Double A, you got to get caught up.
And then I read, too, a spoiler. I didn't want to read it, but it kept coming up, was that they introduced the character of Isaiah. Yes. Which, if you have never read the Truth comic, I let CM read that series. It's a really good series. It's pretty much the government wants to try to replicate the super soldier serum. No one knows it. So, unfortunately, during World War II or a little bit afterwards, they test them on the African soldiers.
Right.
With some really, really horrible end results.
Yeah.
Some get really bulky and blow up. And their others, it's terrible. They all die except for one of them. One of them actually kind of makes it, but it kind of really affects his brains, and I think it's Isaiah.
Right.
So that was really cool. That's why I like these shows, because you can introduce those kind of characters in these shows and give them more time. So I'm really digging all this stuff. I'm really digging the shows. I kind of want them to do more. If they ever do Ghost Rider, I kind of hope they do them on the show.
I know. I was even thinking that would be great for what was it that was coming out recently? And they were saying how they were going to do. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but one of the properties from the 80s that we said had never been really touched was the Thundercats. And I was like, that would be great as a show. You don't have to do a live action movie. I know we heard the news about the Godzilla director, but damn, do it like a Disney Plus style or HBO Max style show.
Wouldn't that be super awesome?
Awesome. Yeah. Man. So that's that, guys.
I've been seeing pictures of Obi-Wan. He looks like Ewan McGregor is getting ready. He's growing the beard out.
Very
probably starting to train again. He says he's really excited at seeing Hayden Christensen again. Yeah, because they were super tight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were. They went bike riding a few times during the Star Wars time. So
motorcycles or
motorcycles.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
We got to get on Daryl's show, right?
Ride. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's awesome, man. I mean, like, I'm super looking forward to that. I mean, can you believe all the flack that Hayden Christian caught at one time, and now, I mean, we're clamoring to see the guy back.
Because it's kind of like, you know, like there's a lot of kids at that time that are growing up and are like, you know what, I like Hayden Christensen. It was the ones that were hating him were the ones that grew up on the original trilogy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I bet you if Cena came back, I bet you he would get a bigger pop because those kids that grew up with him are now older now.
Totally.
You know?
Totally. Guys, can you hear the fan in the background? If it sounds distracting, please let us know. We can turn it off. I had it on because I had the jacket and everything on for our intro, but you know, I'm good now.
If you're living here in Texas, you know, we're having our usual fucking massive heat wave again.
Yeah,
it's
like
90s.
There's
humid.
no spring here. It's just summer.
It went
summer
straight
began,
to summer.
and it is hot. Yeah,
it was
hot.
like great, like what this past weekend, and then it just
blew
up.
Yeah,
so
I heard it's gonna cool down tomorrow a little bit. But,
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
So let's see.
Richard says sounds good.
Okay, great,
good.
awesome. Thank you,
Richard. What do you think, man? Have you been digging the Falcon and Winter Soldier? I know that dude who's playing Zemo right now, man. I'm seeing just nothing of that fucking dance move that he does. I was like,
dude, the Zemo dance, man, dude.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'm watching it and I'm like, I mean, I hated him in Civil War, and I'm watching it and I'm like, am I becoming a Zemo fan?
Shit.
It is a great show, man. Yeah, Baron Zemo, very cool. Very cool. Double A, did you watch the Godzilla movie?
Yes, I finally saw it. So I had a family movie night, Rich, with my kids, my wife. We loved it. It sucks what happened to Kong. I was really going for Kong, and he got knocked out. I was like, fuck.
Great movie there, guys. Worth rewatching. I mean,
but the team up with him and Godzilla versus Mecha, that was a great team up.
Badass movie, man. What's up, Friday Nighter? Jimmy is in the house. He says, is
that Wayne Senior? The joke.
He said, yeah, Double A is.
And the Zack Snyder one. He is Wayne Senior.
That's right. He's Thomas. Yeah. This is Thomas Wayne. Which people think it's cool because that's right. Yeah, she's Martha Wayne. And guys, they say that it could be part of the if you know the Flashpoint series. Double A. Tell Jimmy a little bit about that. Where
is that the one where he's like the Batman,
right?
And he's very violent, right?
Thomas Wayne carries a gun, and it's Bruce that gets killed. So this is an alternate storyline. Jimbo, if you ever get a chance to check it out, I think they did some animated movies about it. You can see that.
That's right.
Thomas Wayne is Batman instead. Carries a gun and kills is a lethal.
I think it's under their Elseworlds.
Elseworlds, I believe they have a bunch like that. So yeah. Rich says, I'm liking Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I can't wait to see what they do with the story.
I think there's only two?
Yeah, two left. Yeah. My girlfriend Jess sat in with me today and saw a piece of. She watched episode 4 with me this morning, and she was like kind of asking me a lot of questions. I could tell she was kind of impressed. Okay. It's very engaging.
It's good. You can't help. Marvel is doing it really, really good, man. They're really digging these old characters and giving them backstory.
Yeah, you know? And it works better in this format.
In this form, yes. Because when you're making the Avengers, obviously you're focusing on the big guns, and you're not really focusing on Sam. You're not really focusing on Bucky. So this is their time to shine, just like it was with Scarlet Witch, just like it was with Vision, and just like it's going to be again with Tom Hiddleston and Loki.
Totally, man. I can't wait to see who pops
and
up.
And then Owen Wilson?
Wow. Yeah. I guess he's like the agency outside of time or whatever. So
that's great.
Pretty cool stuff there, man. I can't
Jimmy said, nice. Richard says, looking forward to Loki as well, and also looking forward to Mortal Kombat. I am really looking forward to Mortal Kombat. It sucks that they kind of pushed it because I think it was supposed to come on the 16th. Now they pushed it to the 23rd.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
I heard some of the dates are going to move
so I was like, son of a bitch. And right now the poster is like really focusing on Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Oh, okay.
The poster is like really focusing on those two. So I was like,
Very cool. Very cool. Friday Nighter Alley in the house says, I only saw the beginning of the caption before I clicked it and thought, wow, they're talking about children's books.
Okay.
What do you mean, Allie? What is it? Is the title of the show? But I'm still ready to listen. Good. Well, we're glad that you're here, Alice. We appreciate you. Hey, guys, want to let you know real quick. Let me steal the mouse right now. Guys, we did get the shirts finally. I have already sold some, so I want to say thank you to those who have bought already, including Nate Rolone. We appreciate you, brother. Joe Martinez, we appreciate you, brother. Friday Nighter Foxy Roxy, we appreciate you, Rox, for buying a shirt today too. It was awesome. And then if Steve is not with us yet, we're a little early. We're a little earlier than we normally are. No, we're right on time, really. But so
we're kind of a little later.
And Friday Nighters Mario and Yeli Alanis, they did bought some really nice hoodies. Again, all this came through courtesy of Deuces Mercado. They
Hey man,
put
I
our
saw
stuff
what
together.
they did with Luchador too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They yes, guys. So we got a little gift from Deuces Mercado for referring them to El Luchador Bar, where we did our famous Inter El Luchador episode with Billy and Jesse. Great guys. And I went and picked up some of their teas this past weekend over at their other place called Tandem. It's a great coffee and beer bar here in town.
It's not that far from Luchador, right?
No, not that far at all.
A little bit further south, right?
Yeah, and it's a really nice place. They got a great outdoor area. In fact, I was there last weekend with my dad. We had 2M barbecues out there, man. Ooh. They just put one slice, guys, marbleized on bread, and man, it was out of this world. Out of this world. The little pigs. Oh, yeah. The little pig. Yes, Allie, I got you on that. Why you said that? Yeah, great line from the show, if you know. So, guys, let me show you. Let's open these together. Double A.
All right.
These are from Amazing Annie over at Deuces Mercado. Here is their. She said this is a gift for you. So I think this is. I don't know which is which, but we haven't seen these yet. So pretty excited about this.
Oh my goodness!
Oh wow! Look at this.
Oh wow!
Oh wait, I think we might have the. I have yours. I think. Look at that! Wow! Really cool. These are not for sale, guys. You can see,
go. That my name on there.
I was gonna say that right there. And this is a big boy, man. We better not fill these up. No cobble wobble in these.
Thank you, Annie. If you're
thank
listening
you so
to
much. This is beautiful. Wow. I mean, I just want to display this.
Me too. Yeah. I think I will.
But if you ever see me doing this number, you know, so I feel like Nicolas Cage and leaving Las Vegas, right? She knows this. She knows this.
Those are very nice.
Beautiful. What a gift.
Yeah.
So lovely. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
She does great work, guys. Also, too, I think there was our basketball episode. Friday Nighter Jack ordered some of these. He paid for the run of them. We bought 10 of them. So I don't know if anybody remembers who asked for one in that one. I know Friday Nighter Crystal asked for one. And so we'll work out the logistics on that. But like we said earlier, we do have $20 shirts in the house. Look at this awesome bag. Andy gave them to me right here. So check this out. They're in here. I'm going to try to carry this around when I go places, and I'll let y'all know where I'm at. But we only have one in this color, a large right there, but that's what it looks like. Only one large in that color, but we've got right now the sizes we have is medium, large, and extra large. We're no more extra large and no small. So if you need them, let me know. You know, we've only got one in that blue, only one in this gray left right here, and that's a large, an XL. This is an XL.
Oh, okay, XL.
And then we've got a bunch of I've got almost all the sizes I mentioned earlier in this one: large, extra large, small. So if you guys want a shirt, send us a message, drop a comment here. Like I said, I've already sold a couple.
The white and red looks nice. I like that one.
The white and red looks nice, and the logo pops better in the black on the lighter colored shirts, I think. And then we've got. I'm trying to show you all the red. And again, just let me know what size, and I get it.
Oh, that red's nice.
Yeah, this one's really nice. I have one like this too. So yeah, it's just the single logo in the front, guys. And he puts the care instructions there for you. And then this is her business. If you ever need stuff like this, reach out to them. The Luchador Bar did do that.
So yeah, they did.
That's why we got the incentive. We helped them with that. So very nice, guys. So if you want shirts, please let me know. We'll get them to you one way or another. And so then that'll be all good. Yeah. Also, I wanted to show on our last trip to Mario Delgado's out at Authority Comics before he went away, got a few things. I wanted to show those here and now. So also these are for you for later. But yeah, so I got this great Bruce Timm. If you know Bruce Timm from this Vampirella right here. Look at that one. I'm gonna get a frame for this over at Hobby Lobby, but pick this up from Mario Vampirella by Bruce Timm. I love that art on that one. And I also got this one. This one's done by Tom Fleming.
Very nice.
I went all Vampirella, man, because I see Double A's got stuff of her, and I don't have anything of hers, and I wanted something really cool.
And it's funny because like Mario texted me too. Remember, he was like, "I got a whole bunch of prints. You're gonna just fall over."
And I was like, "Nah, I don't want no prints." And I really love this because like a lot of the other horror staples are kind of there, but it's done by
look at that. Yeah,
one of my favorite artists, J. Scott Campbell, and Fly up here. You know what I mean?
But
check out Vampirella.
I would have been on KVN and show me that
by J. Scott Campbell. Gorgeous right there, man. So yeah, I'm gonna get these framed up, man. So thank you to Mario for that on your
Yeah, and then I had picked this one up. David Finch was the artist for this Vampirella.
Love
Very
that
cool.
one.
Then I picked up this Lady Death because I'm a fan of Lady Death.
Very rad.
And then this was the one that I couldn't believe he kind of sold to me. This is signed by Brian Pulido.
Oh, Brian Pulido, yeah.
Pulido.
The co-creator, I guess, of Lady Death.
The writer, the creator. And it has that old comic book look. Just we love that shit. You know?
Yeah.
And there's the
really awesome
certificate right there where he signed it. So,
very, very cool.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mario.
And I also got this. My mom has it in my care, but it was kind of for her birthday. Again, the Bruce Timm art based on that art. This Wonder Woman. I want to show it to you guys here.
Which you just had that print, right?
Yeah, if you kind of see them side by side, you'll see the similarities and the way he draws. So, very cool.
Yeah,
I like that. It's like the animated series almost ish. Yeah. So very cool. And Wonder Woman, the eyes, the smoky looking eyes. So let me show this one to y'all real quick. I'm gonna. After this, we won't have anything to show for Mario's anymore unless we order it from him through his website, through his online.
Which you can still message him.
Yeah, you can still message him. But
I did. I asked him to look out for some comics for me. So
she comes with a little stand.
Ooh, nice.
How she looks right there. She's got the lasso, and then she comes with the Wonder Woman stand, so you can put her on there. So I'm gonna put her on here, and then I'll probably put her up in my bedroom and check her out there. She's looking in all her glory. I never owned any Wonder Woman stuff, man, but I think Wonder Woman's really cool.
She is, yeah. Gal Gadot made me a big fan.
Yeah, totally, man. She did a great job. Yeah. And so thank you to Mario for those last few pickups, man. For until we order something, I need to reach out to him about some comic stuff. So yeah,
I did. So
you guys can still reach out to Mario. He still has things, obviously.
Yeah, I asked him to look out for the first appearance of Desaad, and I asked him to look. I was like, you know what? Look up for Steppenwolf too. Okay.
Cool. Why not?
I was like, I want like the New Gods. Orion, I'm probably never gonna get that New Gods issue 1, so that's gonna be hard. But if you can look out for the other New Gods for me, luckily I have the hardest one. I have Darkseid's first appearance, so I already have that one.
You got to have that guy right there. So,
and then I want to show you guys, CM, Jess, Jonathan, Holt, and Roxanne got me this super kick-ass Serpentor. It's fucking huge. It's a nice weight. CM knows I love Serpentor. I love the look. This is the ultimate Cobra leader, and his stand too is the Cobra.
I'm a Cobra Commander guy, but Devil A likes Serpentor. So.
I mean, he just looks cool, right? I mean,
it looks badass.
The Cobra head, and then if you know his origin, it's like he's created by Dr. Mindbender from like Julius Caesar and Attila the Hun, and all these great fucking leaders. So
Serpentor, very cool. It's so funny. Friday Nighter Holty Bear was bringing it to my attention that between the four of us, Double A's, one of three brothers, and then me.
You met my oldest one on the basketball.
Friday Nighter Boy that on our basketball episode. Yeah. We all have different Cobra bad guys who we like. Boy's a big fan of Zartan. His middle brother, Will, is a big fan of Destro. And then you got Double A like Serpentor, and then me, Cobra Commander. So Scott, we were all on all different pages there regarding the Cobra villains, but Cobra nonetheless, man. So yeah, guys, great pickups, man, from Mario on that last day. Already been about 2 weeks now. I haven't made it out to the new shop that's there, but
me neither. Rad Comics.
Check it out. Yeah, we do want to go check it out. Support them.
Richard says he likes our stuff. Richard says he also called out for the bottle opener.
Oh, very cool.
One of them.
Okay.
He said that was a badass episode.
Thank you, Rich.
And Crystal Sanchez says, I want the red one.
A t-shirt. You want a red t-shirt, Crystal? Yeah. What size do you need, girly? I got medium, large, and I know you probably don't need an extra large, so let me know. I don't have any small, so the medium or large yet. Jerry in the house.
He's
Jerry,
in the house.
what's up, Jerry?
Gabriella and Lady Death. Nice.
Jerry, cannot wait to talk to you later, man, on Totally Rad Christmas. All things 80s. We got some cool stuff to show you. Maybe you can see a little bit in the background here or whatever. But we tried to do as much research as we could. So look forward to it.
Richard says those are some amazing artworks. Nice to meet you. Need to meet y'all and show y'all
Yes.
some older comics I have for the late 70s and 80s.
We'd love to meet up with you, Rich. It'd be a great idea, man. I saw Friday Nighter Joe last night. I want to also thank Joe. He gave us a huge shout out on the episode of Totally Rad Christmas he did with Jerry at the end. He thanked he mentioned the Friday Night Faithful group on Facebook, which everyone that's commenting right now, I believe, is a part of. And he said that he also shouted out the show, so we really appreciate that. Joe. It's got his kids are playing baseball right now, but normally you guys know he contributes frequently to the pod here as we're going along. So we missed our first little break, guys. I'll catch it in a second. You know, that's when we normally read the comments every 30
Crystal
minutes.
says she's going to take a medium.
Okay, I will set it aside, Crystal, for sure. In fact, let me do it right now so I don't forget. But yeah.
So, guys, thank you very much for the shirts buying. That really helps me and CM. And trust me when I tell you, we are not pocketing the money. We are throwing it all back in here. Yeah, we already got a few items we've had our eye on. So
new webcam, guys.
Every little thing just helps
for sure.
So it's going back to you. You know, you guys to make this an even better show.
Yeah, so improving the quality of the show, but also maybe getting different merchandise too. Once we make enough off this merch, then we can do another run of merch. If people want, my mom's been asking for a mask, so you know we could get masks made. What kind of merchandise
masks too, which a lot of people wear. So
yeah, what kind of merchandise would y'all like? I mean, I know the bottle openers are cool, as we all get our drink on. You know what I mean? But is there something else like again, Deuces Mercado? They can do socks. They can do freaking beanies, they can do hats, they can do patches, they can do stickers, and I also got stickers in too, guys. So anyone that's buying a shirt, we're gonna give you a free sticker for sure.
Jason says, "What's up, bro?"
Jason, what up, Jason? Hey, man, good to see
Richard
you here.
Richard says,
"Hats, okay, hats. I will look into some ball caps, Rich, for sure. What kind do you like, man? You like the snapback?
Oh yeah, do you like trucker hats? Do you like
trucker hat?
Kind of like the fitted hats?
I like they call those the flex because it's got like elastic inside. That's what I like too. So let me know. It's getting warm, so we know. I don't know if we want to do black or what, but for sure, man, we definitely get some of that done.
Mario, give me that first blue large for support.
Oh, there you go, Mario. You know, Mario, if anyone's going to get a free tee, it would be you for sure, my brother. So we could definitely get you taken care of, Mario. Do not worry about
Richard
it. Richard
says fit it.
Yeah, cool. Fit it on the hats, right? Mario, we appreciate it. I hope you got to see the show off. Mario. We showed off all the awesome stuff we got from you.
The prints.
Mario, feel free to drop your email in there so people know where they can still find you. I believe it's SPR72, SPRMario72 @gmail. So that we all know, Mario, you're still our man for comics. We can reach out to you and get stuff from you. Mario, I'd like an issue 100 of The Walking Dead, considering what we're going to be discussing tonight.
Real quick, before we start, CM, I want to thank all you guys that contributed to our our last episode on YouTube. Man, 331 views that we got for our Justice League episode last week. 331.
Really,
that is
awesome,
by far
man.
like our most we've ever had. So
by far.
Thank you guys. If you shared it, if you told people like to go on YouTube, thank you so much. 331. That was just insane.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when the number kept going up more and more every day. And I was like, wow.
By far. We were really kind of crushed. Our WandaVision episode didn't really do so hot on YouTube. But man, then this next episode, and Justice for All, our episode about the Snyder Cut. Wow. I mean, amazing. And then we're looking back at our old episodes, numbers, right, through the just the audio version through Anchor. And we see that our Party Like It's 1999 episode, all about
the year in movies of 99.
Yeah. 203. 203. Which
that 203 listens.
That's even our oldest episode. It kicks that one's ass by like double. You know what I mean? So okay, Mario, I see what you got right there. Let's do it. Nice. Let's do that deal. I won't read that out loud. Nice. But, hey, and we love you too, man.
Let me see. Steve's in the house. Cheers.
Cheers to Steve. Steve, got your tea set aside. The only 2X that I got and the only gray that I got in that it's a different shade of gray than the one I showed earlier. So that one is set aside for you. I know that you're definitely good for it. So
Mario sends us a love you guys message. Mario, hope you're doing well.
Too, Mario, yeah.
Hope you're doing well.
How was it having your weekends back, my friend? Was it great? You know what I mean? Don't tell me you went out to Traders Village on your weekend.
Well, he's got to help little Mario.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
And then he put his stuff. SPR Mario72 @gmail.com. Guys, if you look at the comments, you need anything for comics related, Mario will help you out.
slab books. Probably man probably still has
key
statues.
issues, just key issues, man. If you want it, that's the best way to build up your comic collection.
It's beauty right here. Hey, Double A, let's talk about a little bit of this news real quick. Should we come back onto audio?
Sure.
Yeah. Let me bring us back in the audio real quick, guys, and then you guys probably saw this news. I posted it in the Friday Night Faithful. It's neat because many times when we'd had Mario on and people talk about slab books and graded books. Sorry guys, if you hear we blipped on the audio, we're back. I missed the 30-minute mark, so you know me. But we're back on audio recording too. But what just sold broke its old record.
Man,
it's an 8.
Holy Grail of comics. Action comics #1. 3.25 mil.
3.25 slab. It looks like it's an 8, graded 8.
Oh wow, it's an 8.
I believe so. Now, I don't know Mario if Gabe is on right now, but Mario, I'm sure you would know as well. But if someone had that and it was a graded 8, the action comics, did it likely get? Look at that. Yeah, that was exactly the color. This is a awesome metal sign. Yeah,
it's a metal sign.
But that's what it looks like.
This is the Holy Grail comics. This is what started off everything.
If your grandma or your great grandma had like some trunk and you happen to see this sitting in there,
my goodness,
wrap it up immediately in something protective and
don't
hard.
Don't even read it. Okay,
don't touch it.
Get a reprint.
Go get some of those powder-free latex gloves and handle it very delicately, because that's about, as we've done right now, 3.25 million. Mario, do you think that one, if it is an 8, do you think that it was pressed?
Way more than if it was an 8.0.
It looked like an 8 on the image that I saw, but I mean it was in the slab. So I'm wondering, you know what I mean, Gabe? I know you're not here with us right now, but if you get on later or check this out, would you press one? You know what I mean? Like, crazy. We heard some crazy stuff about pressing, and we want to get Gabe on the show to talk about it more. It's a really, really interesting thing.
Yeah, I can't wait for Gabe to come on the show. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I had a great conversation too with y'all know Friday Nighter Aaron B, one of our longtime supporters, and it's about something really cool, guys, that he was kind of educating me about that's going on right now that I didn't know about. So I need to get with Justin Martin, who helped co-create our logo, about pretty much. You guys have seen Ready Player One, and you're a fan of that, right? Yeah. Well, apparently there is a world now that people are joining, and you use real, like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, like I can't remember the other one. There's like Dogecoin and Eurythma, something like that. Anyway, people are buying like digital art and digital real estate in this world. Okay. And again, Aaron B explained it a lot better, but I think that it was really interesting, guys, because it's almost like, the movies come to life. I mean, the world of kind of like a Ready Player One, where everyone in the world is in that game is existing. And he was saying that this digital art is selling for, some pieces in the millions. Yeah. You pretty much like you get this art and then it gets converted into like a code that only one person can have.
All right.
And you know what I mean? So, hey, we're trying to get in on that game, and we think that you guys would find that interesting too. So that's a potential future episode there. But
Mario says he's sitting on his floor right now in his office surrounded by comics.
Awesome, man.
I did that yesterday, Mario. I got my vaccination yesterday. So one of the things it says is to kind of like work out your arm. So that's what I was doing. I was changing out some of the wall right here, and kind of using this arm. So
there you go.
Luckily, it's like a day and a half since my shot, and
feeling great.
Yeah, good. Mario, I think you had your shot too yesterday. We both got it at the same time.
Nice.
Hope you're doing good with your shot. So, I hope you're doing good. Steve says, rock and roll. Thanks, Chuck. I'm good for it. Jason says, I miss you, Mario.
Everyone misses you, brother.
And Mario says, most Grail books, it's given a press it.
Okay. So now we know. So that one likely was pressed to get a better grade.
Man, I would just hate to touch that book. I would hate to do anything to that book. I would just be like, please see the right now.
Yeah, although I have to admit, to say that I had my own eyeballs on it would be, I mean, you guys have seen the slabbed one, right? You said you saw that. There was just Mario talking about the guy with the briefcase.
No.
I would love to just
I wish I could have seen that guy walking around.
Yeah,
I would love to have seen it.
Just to
luckily I have a nice reprint, so I read the comic. So.
That's why we put up our picture, guys, on the last day at Mario's shop. We put it up with X-Men #1, guys, signed by Stan Lee, because we're never going to hold that again. And Well, Mario, was that a joke? Was that really a $50K book, $50,000? I don't know if those guys were pulling my leg or not, but I was like, I believe it. You know what I mean? Signed by Stan Lee, X-Men #1. So.
Mario says he's doing good with his vaccination too.
Good.
So.
Good. And I get my second dose at the end of the month. Your Pfizer, I got Moderna, and my family too. So if you guys, vaccinations are becoming more readily available.
It's a more peace of mind for me. I feel good now.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got it. I feel like I can actually touch things again.
Yeah,
so.
and people. Yeah, I know it's natural to have fears, guys, but you know what I mean? I'm hearing that it's protected from other things too. Friday Nighter Albert got his second dose, and he said it kind of knocked him out for the whole day.
Yeah, he got his hit pretty hard, but luckily, like I said, I'm doing very well. I was exercising my arm as much as I could. They said take ibuprofen. If you guys haven't done it, take ibuprofen before, take it afterwards, and just if you start feeling it kind of tender, take it. Just fucking take the medicine.
Yeah.
That was from a cancer doctor that I got that information from. So
very cool.
Very cool. So Rich says that if you had a holy grail of comic books, would you sell it? No. I'll let my kids do that when I'm senile in a nursing home.
So that way I don't know about it.
Yeah,
if I think I had that,
I'll let them sell it. No.
I couldn't part with it. You know what I mean?
I would just look at that son of a bitch like every day.
It makes your collection the ultimate.
I would get it safe, put it in there.
I mean, you guys have a great journey into mystery.
I know, but it's not Action Comics.
No, I know.
Sorry.
Nothing. But that is very cool. I would love to own that. And I believe your brother has a Hulk #1, right?
Yes, he does.
It's a rough one.
Yeah.
He should get impressed.
Well, we got like Daredevil #1. We got Hulk #1. We do have an X-Men #1.
You're going to grade him?
I want to, so they won't get ruined. He's keeping them really nice and safe and in the safe. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Very
Marta
nice.
says, no joke about the shot.
There you go, guys.
All right,
there
see
you
him.
go.
So, should we
Let's do it, guys. If you saw my outfit when the show started, I know we only had a few there. I could have kept it on longer. And you can read our shirts now, guys.
If you want to see what he looked like
in the comic book.
There you go.
There it was. I had the full gear on there. Except I'm missing the bandolier. I need
boots,
the belt.
everything.
Yeah.
So
it was too damn hot for me to wear that today, guys. I was going to wear it for you. But I wore the jacket at the beginning, rewind it. I just it was too damn hot, so I didn't put it all on here. But we did get a question before we get into the topic from Friday Nighter Jimmy, who says, "Who's your favorite underdog superhero?" That's a pretty good question. It just really depends. You know what? I like a lot, believe it or not. I don't know if I would say he's my favorite, but I think Nightwing is pretty cool. I don't know if you consider him an underdog, but Nightwing was the first.
That's a good one.
Yeah, he was the first Nightwing. Robin.
Can you imagine if they made a comic of him and Batman together at their peaks?
Yeah,
they would kick a lot of ass all over Gotham.
Yeah, but Nightwing was the first Robin because there were many other people that became Robin afterwards, Jimbo. But Nightwing was Dick Grayson, so kind of like the one you pretty much know as to be Robin. But then he grows up, so he becomes his own guy called Nightwing, and he's pretty badass. Very cool character, I think. Kind of underrated, So
can I say Dredd? Would Dredd be an underdog?
I think
superhero?
so. Yeah,
I like just Dredd.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely an underdog, or maybe like a guy that you don't think is gonna win. I mean, that's what you consider an underdog. I mean, Spider-Man's a great one.
I know the crossovers, right? He's done with Batman. I'm pretty sure everyone assumed Batman would kick his ass, and I think he's done like a RoboCop.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure
Dredd.
A lot of people. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have said RoboCop kicked his ass. So.
Yeah,
but I like Dredd. He's kind of like in line with the Punisher.
And you said the new movie is better than the Stallone one, right?
The Carl Urban, golly, he does a great job. That's a fucking great movie.
Awesome.
I saw it at the theater. I was like one of that few 8 million that saw it.
Yeah. Is it on HBO Max?
It's on Amazon.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna check it out. Friday Night Yelly in the house. Yelly, your sweaters are ready. You and Mario's. So whenever you guys are ready. And Steve, you hit the nail on the head, sir. The Walking Dead, guys. Season 11 season 10. Season 11 is coming up. The final season. Season 11, season 10 again just ended. Double A kind of said it earlier in the beginning, but we were waiting for one episode in particular. These last 6 were kind of what they called like the solo
character-driven episode.
Yeah,
yes.
They focused on one or two characters at a time. It was like an episode with Carol, Gabriel,
Aaron,
Negan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the season finale was called "Here's Negan," based on the book that came out. There were 2 covers. This I
guess would be the one you find at the comic book stores, maybe.
Mhm.
And then this one right here says this is a Barnes and Noble exclusive.
Yeah, and that one is mine that I have still wrapped. That it comes with an alternate cover issue 100, different from the others. So I do have an issue 100 Mario, but it is not the it's still inside of here. Should I get it slabbed, graded? I don't know. You tell me. But anyway, I have this version also. I bought two. So but it's a great story. This didn't come out that long ago, right?
No, it didn't. No, so it was finally like an origin story finally, and me and CM were pretty damn amazed how different the episode was to the comic book, right? I mean,
very different,
totally different. And so we kind of wanted to take a deep dive.
2017. 2017.
If any of you guys had given up on Walking Dead, but maybe you're like, you know what? I was always kind of curious about Negan. This is a good book for it. And if you want to see the episode, look it up. I'm pretty sure it's streaming already. It's called Here's Negan.
It's called Here's
Same
Negan,
title.
Yeah. And he stars in it alongside his real wife. In real life.
Hillary.
Yeah. I forget.
Morgan.
Hillary Morgan. But his real life wife plays his wife in the book, Lucille. And yeah, again, I don't know what happened to Lucille. Somewhere. You know what I mean? But all right. She's around. She gets around, you know what I mean? Vampire Beth. We got this one though right here. Yeah. So guys, you get the origins of that. You get,
but it's such a stark difference. We did like the episode. Loved it.
Great episode. Emotional.
But we said, after rereading the comic book did a much better job fleshing him out.
Yes.
Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start? With the episode or a book?
Let's start with the episode because I feel like we might be able to get through that one a little bit faster.
Okay.
So again, this episode it starts out again
12 years ago.
Yeah, 12 years ago. But it starts out we see current Negan, guys, and if you know what's going on in the Walking Dead right now, he's been living in Alexandria.
He's been banished.
Yeah, amongst everyone, he kind of gets banished. Carol takes his stuff, even though he helped him majorly with the Whisperers. But Maggie's back, and we all know what Negan did to Glenn, and so that.
I want to go into that because I'm still not a fan of what Negan did, and I don't blame her for wanting to kill him.
Right? Okay? Exactly. Okay. She does the scene where she says, my son asked me, Herschel, her and Glenn's son, what happened to my daddy, and she's like, a bad man killed him, and she's like, well, did he get what he deserved? And she's like, she didn't really know what to tell him. You know what I mean? So
like CM says, Carol's kind of walking him out to this house that you saw kind of like on the previous episode. And, she's kind of said the council voted him out. And Negan can kind of smell it, that it's not true. He's like, is it you or is this a Carol power play?
Right.
But he's going to accept it. Right.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, fuck it.
Could be worse. They could fucking want him dead, or they could just fucking shoot him in his sleep. You know what I mean?
And he's very remorseful. He's a completely changed man. Not the power hungry, slaughtering, dick that he was when he was running everything with the Saviors.
Right.
Very gray now. Everything. Just he looks like a withered man.
Yeah.
And then he sees like a version of himself, right?
Yes.
Negan, that's what we were just talking about,
The hair dark again, sitting in the chair with the classic outfit, man, the leather jacket, the single black leather glove, you know what I mean? You gotta have that going. And and of course Lucille. And he's telling him, he's like, man, you can't change, you know what I mean? He's giving him shit, you know what I mean? Himself giving himself shit. Like,
it's like if any of us have been in that position where we have our thoughts in our head, right? And we kind of like stupid ass, like you should have done this better,
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But I think it gets him thinking, and he kind of goes back and he
starts remembering how everything went before the apocalypse.
So the episode kind of opens, the flashback, I guess, opens on him playing video games, right?
At his house.
At his house. It's kind of,
talking shit to, another player on the Nintendo.
Like online gaming. That's kind of cool. Why don't we go a little bit one for one? Things that are kind of the same, right? So in the comic, the comic opens right on same thing. He's playing some table tennis with some kids in his garage, but he's kind of cursing them out.
So in the to say why he's playing with kids, it's he was a high school gym teacher,
right?
Okay, and it happens in the show too.
Mm-hmm.
He is a high school gym teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he just he's a popular teacher. It seems like, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So go ahead with the comic.
No, so in the comic book, guys, also too, the language is much more salty than obviously they can show on AMC. As he says like fuck every other word or whatever. So Negan is no stranger to dirty language. But so he says he's telling the kids, you know what I mean, I fucking beat your ass.
He's talking shit just like a sort of winter would do.
Right, right. Tells the one kid that his mom jerked him off, needed an extra hand to jerk him off.
Yeah, because her hands are so small, or his hands are so small that he would need 3 of his mom's hands.
And one of the kids kind of takes off, like
yeah, he gets scared. The one he's talking shit to is like, I guess you'd say what they're supposed to be 12, maybe.
Yeah, maybe like that, 12, 13, yeah. And so,
the other kids are like, man, coach, he kind of takes things a little bit too seriously.
Yeah, they call him a pussy,
and then like they all run after him, right? And it's left with a shot of Negan saying like, shit.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Yeah. And so, sure enough, the wife gives him some hell because she's like, "Man, you can't talk to these kids like that."
Yeah.
And he tells them, "Well, hey, I gotta be the same way I am at school as I am when I see them outside of school. Like I'm a hard ass there, and I'm going to be a hard ass here. So, I guess do we get
stupid thinking? Stupid thinking.
Yeah. Do we get the impression that he loses his job?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Yes, he does.
So in the episode with the we just saw the
live action
show, the live action show version, he's already out of work. They don't really say why.
But you can kind of guess it's for the same reason.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, he beat the shit out of some guy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I think he said something to a kid. I think the dad came and he almost put him in the hospital.
Right. Yeah. And he's on probation.
But he's gonna get fired.
Yeah.
He's out.
So that happened.
And then it looks like you can tell him and Lucille have some problems.
There's some definite issues.
Some marital issues.
Yeah.
So you got all that, and she's kind of telling him, well, you gotta do something. You gotta, you can't just be sitting here, you know. And hey, one of the cool things is that Negan is an Iron Maiden fan.
Yes, yeah, they do show that,
which
stuff,
I thought was funny too, because the album they did put is Live After Death, so kind of cool.
I love when they do those things in the background, because that's probably by no fault somebody
and the cover's cool because it's like Eddie coming out like of a grave. So
very cool. So the episode, you could almost say that it's almost like a prequel that overlaps the comic book, because what the episode doesn't do is it doesn't really go into how he became the Negan that we know. It does have some things that happen.
It's like this episode tries to humanize him almost.
Right.
That he was a person before the zombie apocalypse does what it does to just about each of them.
Yeah. But in this, it shows him. In fact, Lucille is only in a few scenes.
She's only in a few scenes. Yeah, you find out that he's actually having an affair, which in the show, it does show that too. But I think in the show, it's like it's her best friend.
Yes. Yeah.
Janine.
Yeah.
And he ditches her doctor's appointment, because he says he has a parole officer meeting.
Right.
When she calls him, nope, not there.
Because she needs to go to the doctor. He tells her in the show version, the live action.
Yes.
She says, "Are you going to go to the doctor with me?" He's like, "Nah, I got a PO meeting or whatever." And he goes, "Doctors, it's the same shit all the time. Yeah. They're not gonna tell you nothing." You know what I mean? So, well, while she's at the doctor's office, she finds out she has cancer.
But at the beginning stages, so
right.
Yeah.
And so you pretty much see her sitting at home waiting for this fucker to come home,
and she's already put 2 and 2. No, she's already put 2 and 2. She's crying because the doctor asked her, "Do you have anyone to take you home?"
Right.
Obviously, she's kind of starts breaking down. She calls him, no answer. She calls Janine, no answer. She's like,
Right. Where are they both at? Yeah.
And it's funny because she has a conversation with Janine prior to that, and pretty much saying that Janine's telling her you should leave him.
Yeah.
So,
and she's like, I knew who the kind of guy he was before I got with him. You know what I mean? The scene where she she gets pissed off at him because he buys a leather coat that he's like, I know I'm gonna get this job, and I know I'm gonna land it, and she's like, man, $600, like
600,
yeah,
holy shit.
The one I had on earlier didn't cost that much. So but yeah, so he's like, nah, don't worry about it, blah blah, you know what I mean? Well, so she hides that from him, and it's kind of neat, right? Because within the episode, he's in a flashback, remembering 12 years ago, before like the apocalypse. And when his wife Lucille was alive, and it's also, you know, she's got it's intermixing between when she found out she got cancer and then where they already were. You know, it's like a flashback within a flashback. So she's waiting for him to come home, and she's got the cancer papers on one side of her and then a gun on the other,
kind of deciding which to do.
Right.
Which she ultimately chooses to tell him that she has cancer.
She just throws the papers at him, and he's like, you know, he's shocked. And he does end the affair, right?
Right then and there, yes.
Yeah.
And then you kind of skip where it looks like the zombie apocalypse has already happened. And you're like, oh, shit.
Right.
And does it cut to the doctor scenes now?
I don't remember exactly.
Kind of like where he's trying to get treatment. So anyways, he needs treatments, obviously.
Yes. She's going to do chemo.
You're not going to find that shit in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
They've been doing their best. They got a couple of bags. Mm-hmm. And he has a generator, but the generator is so damn loud that, you know, it always
attracts the zombies.
But, you know, they turn it off for a little bit. Just every now and then, just little, and then he moves it up to the freezer. Yeah. You know, and that's the way it sucks. It sucks when you have to do that.
Yeah.
And, you know, apparently Lucille's a big James Bond fan.
Yes, that was also very cool. Yeah.
That was very cool.
And you get this moment, right, Double A, where there's a zombie, and she's like, you need to handle it. And he's like, you know what? I don't know.
Very apprehensive, right?
Yeah, he doesn't want to do anything with it. And she's like, they're not people. She's like, they're something else now. You know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, I know. He's like, I'm just not comfortable.
Which I like that too, because it shows that in the comic. When he first kills the zombies, he thinks he's actually murdered.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh my God, I just murdered 2 people. And there's like a kid that tells him, you didn't murder anyone. Those people are already dead. They came back up.
Yeah, they were already dead. That's what he tells him.
So in this one too, he's kind of like the same way, like, oh shit, you know, I just murdered someone, you know. And he goes in with like a little hammer, where you can tell he's like real inexperienced, and the zombie kind of gets the better of him.
Yeah, and
bad.
He gets saved. His ass gets saved by Lucille,
a sick Lucille. It comes with her, you know, a little pole with the chemo bags, and she just offset zombie
right in the head with the gun. Now here's a cool part. Did you watch Talking Dead?
No.
So the Talking Dead had a really neat part because they were both on there, Jeffrey Dean Morgan and his wife, his real wife. She said that they took out a line, which I didn't like that they took out because I thought that was really cool. But she said they took it out because it was dark. But she was supposed to say, something along the lines that he's supposed to say something to her like no, you were saving that bullet for herself. If she couldn't, if she wasn't,
and you know what? I kind of figured out because he was like, "That was our last bullet."
Yeah, that was.
So I kind of figured that was like something like that. Okay.
And instead, she used it to save him, to save Negan. So, you know, that was a kind of that is a pretty dark kind of thought or whatever. But
look, I mean, you got to be real. You know, how much chemo can you actually really go through? You know, before it does going to happen, it is going to happen.
Yeah,
you know.
Now, in the book, what happens, Double A, they find out, and he's like at his affair. They show the other chick.
Yeah, he's still banging the chick, but he's not enjoying it anymore. He tells her like he's ending it.
Yeah, in fact, he gets told, he sees her in the hospital, and they tell her, you know, that she's got cancer, and he's like all down about it, and he's trying to take care of her, and he kind of goes to screw the.
He still does that.
Yeah, he goes to screw her one last time, and he's like, "Hey, my wife has cancer," and the chick gets mad. She's like, "Why the fuck are you telling me? So I can feel guilty about it or whatever." Yeah. And she's like, "You know what? Fuck you." And he's like, "You know what? Like that's when he quits the thing. He quits the affair, and he goes and tells in the book. He goes and tells Lucille, he's like, "Hey, I ended it," and then she gets pissed off. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, what now? What? Because I'm fucking sick or whatever." And he's like, "You know what? I don't want it anymore, and I want to be here for you, whatever." So he tries to be a good husband in her last moments.
Now the zombie apocalypse has not happened.
It hasn't started yet. Yeah, and in fact, she's bald already, and she's in chemo. And then, like right then, in the midst of that, it happens or whatever. They come and run in, the doctors and the.
It's almost like how you see episode 1 of like Rick kind of waking up in the hospital.
Yes,
everyone's zombie. It's
very
kind of
similar.
Like Negan had that same experience.
Very similar. And he's like, I'm not leaving my wife. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about or whatever? And they're like, hey, we got to go. Like, dead people are rising up and walking around outside. You know, which when you think about it, I guess in a hospital there would be dead people, but how often are you walking around and there's dead people around? Like, we wouldn't know unless somebody died right then. But anyway, so in the book, he's like,
so
man, fuck.
This is all just in the book. Okay.
Yeah.
They're in the hospital. Lucille dies, and she
dies.
wakes up as a zombie.
Yes, while he's in the room with her, because he's like, I'm not going anywhere. He barricades the door and all that, not thinking, obviously, you know, this is going to be something. Because, you know, what's kind of cool about this story is like, he didn't know then. Is this going to be over in a week? Is it something that, like, I don't know, what the fuck, you know? So she pretty much tries to attack him.
They kind of mention that a little bit when they're watching TV about how the dead are coming back to life.
Yes.
Yeah, so they do mention that on the TV show.
In the episode version, the live action version. But
here he's having a lot of trouble trying to kill her. Like, well, not trouble. It's just, you know, he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He's kind of in shock what's happening, and she looks scary. Like, she busted her face.
Yeah, she falls out of the bed, and she had that tube in her throat, and her mouth is all fucked up. And
so he actually asked the kid that he saves if he can go finish her off, right?
Yeah,
right.
He saves this kid. He runs out. He leaves her in the room. He runs out of the thing, and the kid says, "Oh, is that your wife?" He's like, you know,
where it's very different because in the episode, he leaves for 6 weeks, which me and my wife were like, that's just fucking stupid. Yeah, honestly. Yeah. How long would she have lasted? Honestly.
Yeah.
You know, and she 6 weeks. That's a whole month.
Yeah, she begs him not to go. She's like, "Look, let's just be together in this last bit of time."
Yeah, so that was a difference between this book and the show, where he doesn't want to lose her. He's trying to do it, but 6 weeks. I mean,
and he knows of these mobile doctors that have,
which is weird. That's the first time I've ever heard of this. Yeah, you know, mobile. Like, there was actually some doctors who were traveling and trying to actually help people.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But he's so weak. He tries to, like, he has like an empty gun, but you don't know. And he's like, you know, give me everything you got. You know. And, but he's so weak. He passes. He's blurry. He's seeing double. Yeah. And they hit him with the bat.
They hit him with the bat, and it's the girl.
Yes, and I can't remember her name, but she was a savior.
She was one of the saviors.
One of his top people.
Yeah, she was there kind of throughout those episodes where the saviors were around. So that's kind of cool. He comes to. They ask him, "Hey, what's the deal?" And he's like,
and they're treating him too. So it's not like they have him like kind of handcuffed, but they're treating him.
Yeah,
you know, with fluids to kind of get his strength back. You know.
And it's a guy doctor, and then the one gal that we see, and then they mentioned
he said that they're father
and daughter, yeah. But it's a black guy and then the white daughter. But I mean, you know, could be adopted, whatever the case may be. But that's the story, the narrative in that part.
And you know, he tells him everything, you know, and he's like, "How have you been treating her?" He's like, "Well, you know, once you kind of read the tools and everything, you know, it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward." And he's like, and then he asks him, "Where'd you hit the roadblock?" And then that's when he tells them about, you know, they accidentally left the generator off too long.
Right. And they were freezing the chemo.
But it's starting to drip because they smoked weed.
Yeah.
Right before that, he got lucky. He found some weed and they were smoking it and having a good time, but they fell asleep.
Because it was their anniversary.
It was, but they fell asleep.
They were eating dog food with hot sauce. I was like, fuck.
And it drips, and then he opens it, and all the water comes out, all the ice that he had in there, and those bags are no good anymore.
Yeah.
Boom.
And she says, "You know what? Like, let's just live out this time together. Whatever happens." Yeah. And he's crying, and he's like, "No, I'm not going to let you die. Like, I'm not going to let you die." Like,
I think that's what she tells him right about the affair. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, "You knew, you know," which was different than what the book was.
Way different than the book. Yeah. And in this one too, he's squeamish about killing in that one, but he's not necessarily squeamish in this one.
It kind of was in the beginning, just in that hospital scene.
Right.
He is here.
He's definitely, like you said, like upset that he killed somebody, but he hits the thing with the fucking fire extinguisher.
Well, he was saving the kid though.
Saving the kid, yeah.
You know, like Negan's like real big like on kids, you know, and he doesn't like to see them get hurt, like Carl. You know, and you know, so he saves him, but he's so freaked out. He's like, I just killed 2 people.
It's not the killer we know that Negan is, where it's nothing or whatever. So he's also, you know, so him and the kid kind of leave.
They bond a little bit, for like that few minutes. They bond.
And he tells, I really like what he tells him about.
He's like a 14-year-old kid,
right?
Okay, he just lost his mom too, I believe.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Sam.
Well, I like that he starts to talk to him about kind of like sex or whatever, and he tells him, he's like, once you get a taste of human leg, you'll go to the ends of the earth to get more. And by human leg, I mean sex. And then he goes, because he's kind of just trying to make conversation.
Just trying something. It's weird.
It's classic Negan, where he's like, he just doesn't shut up. He's always talking. You know what I mean? But yeah, so like shortly after
and then,
that,
the kid's like, well, I do have my eye on this neighbor, and I want to tell her. And Negan's like, fuck yeah.
And then out of nowhere, boom, zombie, and the kid gets fucking bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Negan's by himself now.
And Negan has that face like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And all throughout this time, the other images, they're just showing like where he keeps meeting people,
and these three guys approach him, and they're gonna fuck him up, and one of them's got a bat. So this is where the Lucille bat version makes its first appearance, kind of. Guys, we're getting really near our technically our second break, but at this time is when I'm going to say, we're going to go take a quick commercial, and then we'll be right back. But if you're joining us on Facebook Live like you do, we're going to read through your comments. We'll be here hanging out. We're not going anywhere, and we want to hear what you have to say about the conversation. Guys, here's Negan, and we'll be right back. Guys, if you're here with us on Facebook Live, we didn't go anywhere. We're sticking with you. We're talking about the season finale of The Walking Dead. And we're talking about the great book, Here's Negan, from Robert Kirkman.
And we're talking about the differences between the book, Origin of Negan, and the episode of Negan.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. We've got a few comments in here, guys. I know maybe we're earlier than we normally
Steve
are.
goes, it's not easy being Negan.
No, it definitely isn't, right, Steve? Steve, I'm glad that you're still watching, man. I knew that you were a fan of The Walking Dead. He says, yeah, they almost got there, but not quite as far as Negan goes.
Yeah, I mean, the language and everything.
Yeah, but also, too, Steve, like, what's really cool about this book is that, like, it goes into more seeing how he becomes the leader of the S. And maybe they're saving that, right? Double A for an episode.
I don't know.
It'd be a cool episode.
I don't know. I don't think they. Well, you know what? I did read somewhere where now his son might be involved in the show.
Really?
Might be. I think I read an article saying that they're going to bring his son.
Interesting. Interesting stuff. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So it was really interesting because at first when me and CM wrote this, we didn't think too much of it. Right. At first we're like, I think we're kind of hyping ourselves up too much about Negan. We're like, golly, he's such a badass character, and it just felt rushed. Like this one at the time we thought felt rushed.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, they go into the zombie the zombie apocalypse
quick, and she dies quick.
Yeah,
the wife in this one.
Yeah, and kind of like it doesn't show like how he kind of gathers the saviors and how they kind of bring Hilltop and Alexandria and Hilltop, Alexandria,
and Oceanside. No,
the
Kingdom.
It doesn't really show like in the book. It doesn't really show like how he brings those three down to their knees. Really, it doesn't really show. So. I don't know. I was kind of like hoping they would show that, like his interactions with like Ezekiel, his interactions with like Gregory, and his interact. I forgot her name. The one that Alexandria before Rick, and then I forgot her name with that son of hers.
Yeah.
But right. It was kind of like weird, So
yeah, very cool. We're gonna get more into that when we come back on about those.
Crystal says real quick, Sam. I stopped all The Walking Dead because I got bored, but listening to you talk about it has made me way more excited about it. And actually watching the show, I know I'm bad.
No, Chris, you got to watch it. Like I said,
at least this Negan one, Chris. So you watch this Negan one. It's a cool episode.
And these last 6 episodes that were at the end of this season were kind of standalones. There's a great Rick and Carol Darrell episode of it. Steve says, I lost y'all for a bit. Oh, sorry, Steve. I don't know if our connection went out or anything like that, or maybe just for one. But yeah, we're in the break part anyway, Steve. So we're reading comments. Guys, I do want to remind you to please go check out a great podcast called Totally Rad Christmas from Jerry.
He's a fan of Christmas. That's all they talk about.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, I heard a couple of episodes. I heard his episode about Gremlins. It was great. I mean, it was one of those episodes where it does what a podcast, in my opinion, should do. A, make you feel like you're hanging out with the people talking, and B, make you want to feel like you want to jump in the conversation and say things. I love Gremlins. I've always said it was a Christmas movie. So Jerry's episode is a great episode. Totally Rad Christmas about Gremlins. I also heard he did one about Who's the Boss. And then he recently had on Friday Nighter Joe Martinez, and they talked, him and Anthony, also a Friday Nighter, they talked about the Scooby-Doo Christmas episode which I didn't know that there were. I think Jerry says there were several,
Yep.
but they talk about one in particular, and they go into so much other stuff. It was neat. Like I said, I learned about the Supernatural Scooby-Doo crossover. If you're a fan of the Supernatural show, which kind of ties into what we're saying, because Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Negan, also plays the father of
John Winchester,
Sam and Dean in that one. And and we both had the distinct pleasure of meeting Jeffrey Dean Morgan. We did not get a photo with him because of the constraints. We tried our asses off. We sure did.
We did.
But huge. I think that the show really turned around for the better at that time. And a lot of people that caused people to walk away. They walked away.
I think you might be in the minority in that one.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Which is weird because, like you said, issue 100 is actually kind of like the turning point.
Yeah,
in The Walking Dead.
Well,
it's a big moment in The Walking Dead.
Yeah, Friday Nighter Anthony Sanchez is watching, and he's been binging, right? And so he'd be like, "Man, I fucking love this show. Like, I love Rick." We were texting so much, and I said, "Hey, brother, like, I haven't heard from you. How are you doing?" And he goes, "Man, I kind of took a break." He's like, "He's watching into season 7, but he's like, I really hate seeing Rick being a bitch."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, I said it's going to be worth it. You got to keep going there. You got to push through the saviors." But
it was so much bullshit that they went through.
Oh, it was like an entire season of, Eugene turning and
all
like Daryl really getting it bad. I mean, Negan fucked them up. I mean, I gotta say,
it turned a lot of people off.
Yeah, that was a rough time, but you want to see your heroes overcome, so that's what you gotta like kind of wait for or whatever. And I don't know, do you think that what they did, what Negan and the Saviors did, was worse than what the Whisperers did?
Yeah,
I mean that shit when fucking Alpha took heads, man.
And we're gonna go why I say Negan did worse.
Okay. I like where you're at.
We get there. So.
All right, guys. Looks like we're caught up on comments. So we're gonna get right back into the audio. And don't forget, guys, we got another podcast to record after this. Yeah. We're gonna be on the episode of Totally Rad Christmas, which we'll let y'all know when it's gonna come out. I don't think it comes out like how we are, like right away. So let's get right back into Here's Negan, the name of the episode of the show and of the book that came out in 2017, which I guess was kind of a long-awaited thing, right? AA people had the origin.
It was a very long-awaited.
So let's get it going right now. Back with the audio, guys. Thanks for hanging out during that break. If we're do that quick commercial, but we didn't go anywhere. On Facebook Live, we go live every Friday night on Facebook Live so that you can join the conversation. We enjoy having you guys here with us commenting. We read your comments every 30 minutes when we take a little break for our audio to process, and then we come back and get right into the topic. And of course, tonight we are Negan on this episode, all about the season finale of The Walking Dead called Here's Negan, and then the great book about the origin of Negan, one of the, if not, would you say one of the greatest comic book villain period of all time?
Because there was so much hype around him.
And you fucked the good guys up so bad. I mean, guys, this issue 100 is when Negan appeared in The Walking Dead. And I don't know how long Kirkman had him.
I say that, but when it comes to The Walking Dead show, though, the Governor is still number one for me.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. And Negan for me was a guy that I loved to hate. And then I just started to love him, even though he fucked up Glenn. I was like, he would say so much funny shit. He made the show fun of me.
My wife called him right into his face. She said, your character is a charming asshole.
Yes, very cool.
And he liked that a lot.
How cool for Christina to say. Yeah. She has so much balls, man. Your wife, dude.
And she goes, thank you. Yeah. So he liked that a lot when she said that.
That's a great way to put it, the charming asshole. And that's how I feel. I tell people, man, you left at the wrong time, because this guy brings so much life to the show. You guys can literally go to YouTube and look up Negan's greatest hits, and it's like him, his funniest lines, the little pig, let me in, it's so much fun. I bought the game Tekken 7 because when I found out he was a playable character, I wanted to play as Negan and swing Lucille around, and it's so great, when every character, like in Mortal Kombat, when they come out, they have a little cutscene. His is him walking out of the trailer. He walks out there, really? And then he's like, he points the bat right at the screen when you watch it play. And when you're hitting people, he's like, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. He's got it's his voice too. So I was like, man, I think Negan would have been great on Mortal Kombat, but he's really awesome on Tekken. Also, if you don't know the game Tekken, fighting game like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, but you get to play as Negan, and it is fucking fun, man. But damn, I love this episode. I love this book.
a good majority of the episode is really him and Lucille.
Right.
Just spending a lot of time
The
before
wife,
she
Lucille,
finally,
not the bat, Lucille.
before she kind of finally passed away. Where in the book, it's kind of just like maybe a little bit of the first chapter before you start really getting into the meat of Negan kind of turning from this high school gym, kind of unfaithful but loving husband,
Yeah.
into pretty much this psychopath that we know.
Yeah, he's getting acclimated to this world. Like I said, these guys approach him.
But at first, though, it kind of makes him cynical because he's actually trying to make friends with people he keeps encountering.
Yeah.
What happens, though, is that they always end up dying.
Right.
Always. They
Right.
always just end up dying. And after a while, he kind of he becomes cynical. And this one that he was traveling with, she gets bit. And she's like, Negan, I got bit. And he just goes off on her. Mm-hmm. He's like, you know what? That's your own fucking fault. You shouldn't have gone back for your brother. Fuck you.
Yep.
Fucking die already.
Yep.
And that's he leaves and walks away. And she's kind of like has this horrified face. She's holding her neck because she got wounded in the comic book.
Yeah.
And Negan just walks away and she's slowly dying, going to become a zombie.
And he's pissed off because he feels like everyone's weak.
But it's kind of a funny moment, right, to him? Because it's like, it keeps her, it's like panels are showing like where he meets his new group and they die, and then he gets his new group and then they die.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, son of a bitch.
So they kind of do a little bit of this in the episode, right? Where he's siphoning the gas, and that's when he kind of gets kind of caught up.
Yeah.
So in this one, he's siphoning some gas, and these three guys roll up on him, like I said, with a bat. And the guy's like, hey, that's our gas, blah, blah. They're trying to bully him. And he's like,
and pretty much he's like, how the fuck is it your gas? I've gone up and down and I've never seen you guys, you know? And they like him though.
Yeah. And so he starts to hang with them. And then sure enough, well, like we said, they fucking die or whatever. So he ends up taking the bat and he starts walloping a couple of the fucking zombies after they all die on him. And he gets to like, this is a pretty badass weapon.
He likes the bat. Mm-hmm. He really loves it. Yeah.
And he's using it after that again.
And now he's starting to grow a beard. He's starting to get probably more cut too. And yeah, just like I say, he keeps hooking up with people, hoping he's going to get a group, and they just all keep on dying.
Yeah.
Until he finally arrives and meets Dwight.
Good old
you guys
Dwight.
Remember, he's the one that put the iron to Dwight's face.
Mm-hmm. In the show version. And I don't know, again, we're not fully versed on the relationship with Dwight Negan in the comic book because we haven't read those.
But here, they kind of make it seem like they're pretty cool. Dwight finds him. He's like, hey, man, we got a group. We got a pretty good group.
Yeah.
Why don't you come with us? We could use it.
And at first, she's kind of like, man, like fucking people keep dying on me or whatever. Like, how do I know y'all are any different or whatever? Y'all are going to fucking die too, But he's like, hey, fuck it. I'll hang out with y'all for as long as I can. He starts kind of leading. You know what I mean?
They go into more situations, them and Dwight, the group, here and there, trying to clear out some spots where they can keep on moving. And he starts becoming more of a leader. He kind of starts taking control.
Yeah.
And there's even kind of like they introduced the Sherry character in the episode, but here is a lot of flirtation going on.
Yeah, like I was going to ask you about
the
that,
hotel,
I was
right?
Kind of confused. Yeah,
where she's like, I like the things that we used to do in the hotel, and I was like,
right.
Oh wow! So it looks like here in the comic book, she's like she's liking Negan. She's liking how rough and tough he is.
Yeah,
and kind of flirting with him too. So
and she's like supposed to be Dwight's girl,
where in the comic she's like can't stand she can't stand it.
Yeah,
but here it's like there's a little bit of flirtation going on. And Dwight's like, speaks to Sherry kind of like, well, I don't know about Negan, and I'm the leader, and Sherry's like, what are you talking about, leader?
Yeah,
we're all just trying to survive here,
right? Right,
like that's all it is. There is no leader. We're trying to move. We're trying to find a safe spot more and more, right?
Yeah. And you see him kind of directing traffic, like, hey, Sharon, go down there, blah, blah. You two do this. Like, he knows people's strengths, and he's directing traffic. And they're clearing out this department store. And see, I think the show did a better job with the jacket. Like, it had sentimental value.
I like that story better.
Yeah. Here he just kind of finds it on a chair. And
but that's what we're saying, though. Like, it doesn't show all that stuff we're talking about. It really doesn't show it at all. Like, he does run into three guys in the episode, but he doesn't bond with them whatsoever.
No, not at all. And here it's like there's a line where Dwight tells him, you got pretty comfortable telling us what to do. What did you do before? What were you before? And he goes, I was a bad motherfucker.
But see, in the episode though, like I said before, he meets these guys, and it's kind of weird because you see him where he's tied up to a chair, and it's kind of like weird, right? Because it's like, wow, that's kind of what he he does.
He did, right.
He kind of forces people like that. So it was kind of weird seeing him in that position because you never really see Negan in that kind of like helpless position.
Yeah. And these guys are like biker types.
Yeah, so they're questioning him, and they told him too. The doctor and the daughter told him, watch out on the roads because there's this group that kind of owns them at night.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy wants to know where he's getting his medical stuff. He's got they put it in a cooler for him. The bags, it's ice packs. And he's like, I want to know where this mobile medical hospital is.
Yeah,
and he's thinking about his wife. He gives him up. I was kind of really surprised. I was like, wow.
He had to give him up because
you don't see any of that in this book.
No.
You don't see any kind of that Negan in here, but then his wife is dead by this point. Yes. So I don't think he cares in the comic book.
Right.
But in the episode, he still has his wife to worry about.
Yeah. It's a very, did it remind you of the classic story of Unforgiven or even one of our favorites, the Saint of Killers story from the Preacher comic book where trying to do the right thing, trying to take care of the wife, go get medicine, and guess what? While you're gone, they fucking die.
But it kind of reminded me too, like it seemed like that was like where he had Rick too in that position too.
Yeah, because Maggie was the one that was, fucking fucked up.
But it was weird seeing Negan in that spot.
Yes, I totally agree.
So he gives him up, and sure enough, they find the doctor. You see the RV parked out there, and you're like, ah, shit. Yeah. And then I think you kind of hear raping, the raping of the daughter going on.
Oh, shit. I don't know.
In the RV.
I caught that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you see him riding off. At first, he's kind of like, he stops almost thinking,
I should help.
But then he thinks about his wife.
He's got to get back to the wife.
He goes.
And what do we see on the door, Double A?
Yeah. So she writes him a note pretty much saying,
please don't leave me like this.
Yeah. And she's, luckily, what a smart woman, though.
Oh, yeah.
Puts a bag over her face, ties herself up. It looked like she kind of committed suicide, though.
I think so, too.
With the pills.
She was like, I'm not going to.
Where it's a lot different from the book. In the book, it's kind of like she just kind of dies when, I guess all the power goes off.
The cancer,
something.
Yeah,
the cancer eats her.
She's in the bed.
So, again, very different stuff. Kind of with the same ending, though.
Yeah.
He rips the bag. He wants to see her face. She's very zombie.
Scary.
And they said they did this part on purpose when it's like her and him together, that was kind of like an alpha him part.
Oh,
yeah, like they did that on purpose.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool.
So he kills her. In this one, he kills her.
Yeah, he kills her. How does he?
Well, no, you know what? He sets her on fire, I believe.
He burns the place down. He burns their house down, which you find out was their house. And you see the last name.
And my wife was like, man, he should have killed her because what if the fire doesn't really kill her?
Yeah.
What if she just becomes like a burnt zombie?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh.
We also forgot to mention a really key part from the when he's leaving. When he first, we said, like I said, he gets hit with a bat when he first gets some medicine from those medical.
Yeah.
Well, then the gal, the one that's one of the saviors, she's like, it's all you have to protect you, that empty gun, and he's like, yeah, for right now. And then she's like, well, here, take this. And she gives him the bat. And he's like, is this what you hit me with? And she goes, yeah. And he goes, damn, girl, you pack a wallop, talking to the bat. You know what I mean? So then he's got the bat with him throughout, even when he gets caught.
And he falls in love with that shit like right away.
Right. So once he sees his wife is dead, he burns down his stuff. He knows he has to go do the right thing and make amends and go help those people that tried to help him, the doctor.
Puts on the jacket. He wraps his bat up.
That too. I want to ruin that part. So while they're having their anniversary dog food before he goes on the mission, she gives him a gift, and it's the jacket. And he's like, what? Where did you find it? I thought you took it back. And they're referring back to when he had bought it and they were not having money because he'd gotten fired. And she was going to take it back. And she says, no, I just hid it because I was pissed off at you. I couldn't return it because you took the tags off or something like that.
He goes, I threw away the receipt.
Yeah. So she's like, I just hid it in the crawl space and I found it while I was wandering around the other day. And he's like, wow, okay, cool. So that's like the origin of the leather jacket, which is a very much better origin.
It's a better one than one here. They're just like CM says, they're cleaning out the department store and he sees the leather jacket and he's like,
that's going to make me more badass. Yeah. Whatever. But again, it doesn't have the wife here to have that story at this point.
Kind of similar things, kind of somewhat, but a lot of big changes too.
Yes.
A lot of ways.
And again, you really see in this book, which is great, if you want to see him, like how he kind of starts to earn the trust of guys and, people that become the saviors, he does. And then he's got, the bat with him as well. So So let's go back to the episode. So he goes back to set the things right. Now he's got the jacket on. He's got the bat with him.
He clips the barbed wire.
Yes.
And wraps it around, which makes it look so fucking easy.
It is not easy, guys. I did it right here with myself with the one I showed you guys. Let me show it to y'all again.
Yeah, so he wraps it up and he kind of goes in for the kill, right? Like, he's actually, this is like a heroic Negan you really don't get to see a lot of times.
Right.
Kills the first guy.
Again, this is super hard to do, and I do not suggest anybody do it.
It's a nice job, though.
Thank you. Yeah, I stay in the bat myself and everything.
You hear a screaming, you hear a shooting. You know, he comes in, you know,
and how does he get the jump on the bikers? Oh, you know what? The guy, you know, they focused a lot in the episode about the kind of the screw. Yeah. Like they're unscrewing the thing.
Yeah.
He was trying to on it.
The Pope.
Yeah. And then when they're handcuffed to the chair, then later on you see the doctor who's chained to it. He's working on it. And he gets loose, and that kind of, I think, is what turns
it
the
helps.
tide.
Yeah, he knocks him out, and then Negan gets a jump on him.
Yeah.
And he sits him down, and it's like, oh, shit.
Yep.
This is the Negan we know now, where he's in.
And he tells him, I was trying to get back to my wife and all that. And he's like, you know, pretty much you fucked me or whatever. So now I'm going to fuck you. And he's
like, and you better hope I don't shut up.
Yeah, because he's like, when I'm done talking or whatever. And then is that the first time he uses Lucille on?
Yeah. Yeah. Like big time. In that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And in this one, it's neat. He's carrying just the bat, but then he encounters these guys, right? And they're telling them kind of like, you know, oh, you think you're running things, you know, blah, blah, blah. And he gets into a scuffle with the guy that I guess is like the supposed leader. And they throw him down where they're camped out into some barbed wire. And he's like, fuck, like this shit hurts. Like he gets caught up in it. He starts to fight the guy.
Well, I think they try, I think he tells him like, hey man, you like her? You can go have her.
Oh, that's right.
And that's like right. One of the big things is that Negan hates raping.
Yeah. Which really was, would we say that was different in the show in the earlier episodes? Because he's got these kind of like concubines.
He's got a harem of women, which doesn't make sense. But yes, he does hate, I guess, a forceful way of raping.
Yeah. So in this one, that's I forgot to mention in the comic book version, he's already got a squad kind of going together, and this other group meets up, and that's what they tell him. They've got these girls, and that's the one guy says that to me. He's like, well, if you want your check, you want to go ahead and have a round with the girl, go ahead. And he's like, wait a minute, so against her will or whatever? And he's like, nah, man, that's not going to be going on in my group or whatever. And that guy is like, you're going to tell us how to treat our women or whatever? Like, there's no more rules.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I fucking have rules, you know what I mean? So they fight, they scrap, and he throws him into the barbed wire, and Negan still ends up getting the better of him.
And he smashes the fuck out of his head.
He gets the bat, and
he tells the other people, you know, you're going to go by our fucking rules here. You know? And there's going to be none of that raping shit. You know?
Yeah, and he mushes the head to like mush.
And he's all covered in blood. Looks brutal.
And he's like, I got a little carried away, you know what I mean? And everyone's looking at him scared, you know what I mean?
So in that, though, you never see any of that in the episode. Like, right afterwards, he helps the doctor, you know, and I guess they go on their own way, you know, the doctor and whatever, you know, but, yeah, and then that's how, in the episode, Negan starts becoming Negan.
Yeah.
But in the book, though, you get so much more. You see where he starts becoming twisted, and he starts having this kind of coat, right?
Yes.
Coat that's kind of around it that just like Negan's our guy. He's gonna help us. Yeah, he's gonna protect us. He's gonna save us. Savior. He's our savior.
Yeah. And right after he gets out of the barbed wire and bashes that guy's head, he goes over to the barbed wire. He yanks a fucking piece off, and again, in the comic book, also very easy, not easy in real life, guys, wraps the barbed wire around the bat. And he kind of has a moment where he's kind of like thinking, but it's a really neat.
Yeah, it's kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
Get your shit together.
Right.
You know?
Like fucking stealing himself for what he's, I guess, going to become in a way. And he wraps it around. He gets it all wrapped up. And then he goes and he tells them, you know, they don't really know him. You know what I mean? So he has the bat over his shoulder, and that's what he says.
And he pretty much makes Dwight his number 2 guy.
Yeah.
You know, he gets Dwight involved too.
Because Dwight was kind of like the leader before, but then everyone started to follow Negan instead. And then he says, it's time I told you about Lucille, and it's a great scene when he's got Lucille on his shoulder. But he's talking about his wife so that they can kind of trust him. You know what I mean? Like, tell him the story. And he even says, I was a piece of shit, which, you know, you called him several times. So he's like, I lost her. He's like, I was surrounded by the dead. he was like, there was these survivors. He's like, but they didn't survive. They fucking all kept dying. You know what I mean? And that really bothered him. Like, it pissed him off that they were weak and that they died. You know what I mean? And he felt like that was a betrayal in a ways, you know, but it really wasn't. You know what I mean? They just fucking weren't acclimated to that world, and he was taking to it very well. So,
but very different. Like I said, you start seeing the seeds where it's like the episode just really focused. It looked like they were trying to humanize him.
Yeah.
So at the end of that one, after all that's said and done, after he starts thinking, he makes his way back to Alexandria.
Yes, because he remembers that he had, when he was in jail, if you guys remember, he was in jail at Alexandria, you know, they had him locked up for fucking ever, you know what I mean?
Crimes against humanity.
Yeah, and you know, it was Rick's word that he didn't want him dead, and you know, that was fine. That was also kind of Carl's wishes, because he said that the killing would just go on. And they felt, Carl felt like they could learn to live side by side.
Stupid.
I agree with Carl. I agree with Carl. I know that what Negan did was absolutely atrocious. I don't see him and fucking Maggie palling around.
No,
but you also, don't you want strong people?
No,
double A in
not
your
that guy.
He helped them.
Not that guy. But Carol's the one that did.
Well, true, but also, you know,
going behind their backs.
In fact, I was more mad at her for going back behind her on her deal with him.
Well, because she knew Maggie's going to kill him.
Well, right.
And actually, Carol, it seems like, likes him, and it's like,
yeah,
all right, I don't want you to die. You know,
I think sometimes you need a monster to fight a monster. You know
honestly,
what I mean?
look, it's just, you know, what he did to Glenn and Abraham.
Yeah.
What he did to Hilltop, Kingdom, and Alexandria. He brought them to their knees. He took their food away.
Yeah.
He demanded a tribute, you know, and if you didn't get it to him, the penalty was death.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you become a dictator to these three communities. They're just trying to survive in this fucking world.
Well, what do you think about what Rick did to his people first in that satellite?
Because they told him, Alexandria told him about this guy named Negan that demands tributes, that demands our food, our crops.
And so instead of Rick maybe meeting with this guy, Rick just assumes that his group is better and goes and murders these people in their sleep. And there was babies there. I don't know. I feel it's a very perspective-y thing. You know what I mean?
I just, you know what? The dude's a bad guy. He demanded all this stuff. He surrounded himself with bad guys, really bad guys.
Yeah,
I forget his number. Yeah, Simon.
Definitely.
Simon was a fucking asshole.
Yeah,
all right,
a real scumbag.
I'm sorry. You instead of working with the other three communities, you make them bow down to you. Come on.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You get all the good stuff,
and
you're forcing these people to hope that nothing happens to their crops, hope that there isn't snow that comes, hope that, you know, while they're in their cushy building with pickles and bullets and trading and all that shit.
And he even tells them, he's like, you give us ours, and then whatever.
They offer the usual, the mob thing. We offer you protection.
Yeah. And it was like, I don't care if you don't have, you have our half, and whatever is left is for you, but so like, you make sure
it's like, Nick, you know, you're trying to help each other out. This is the end of the world. Come on now.
Sure.
You know?
But I think up until that point, until his encounter with Rick and their group, Negan's things had run that way, and it was kind of like a smooth way of running. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm sorry. Do you want to live like that?
No.
Where you have to force, you know, you hope your crops grow, or else someone in your family is going to die?
No, I agree not. But also, too, I think, man, well, like, you know, maybe if I was with the Saviors, I would feel safe, at least somewhat safe. You know what I mean?
But they don't do nothing to save you.
That's true. That's true.
They're so far away. You know, it's not like they're going to protect you from it. They don't even know when the zombie apocalypse or a zombie horde is going to be coming.
Yeah.
You know, the dude's just an asshole. He should have died. Maggie should have killed him. Honestly, I mean, Rick was wrong. Carl was wrong. Why? Carl liked him because he was nice to him? Let me ask you, just like I told my wife, what if that son of a bitch bashed my head in? Are you going to forgive him?
Well, no, of course not.
You know?
No. But I disagree with you about it, because I do feel like what Carl said was right. Like, you know, like, okay, it's basically saying like no one can change. Like, he's damned.
But this guy didn't allow anyone to work with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, it was by fear. He ruled by fear. You know,
true. No, again, but he did lose, and once he was defeated and was their prisoner for so long, I mean, he even befriends Judith. I mean, it's like, I don't want to say that there's.
Are you going to let Charles Manson out there?
I mean, again, he's
a cult leader,
point.
like Negan. He's a cult leader.
You're making a good point, but I mean, I also feel as though like there is some change in him. You know, Negan could have told him to fuck off.
And then what about him stealing all the women?
Yeah,
from their husbands.
That too.
Come on,
was that too. I mean, like I said, but hey, at that time, it was like he was the top dog. It was like he had that power.
Okay,
and that was an abuse of that power.
So if I was the top dog and I took your woman away, you're gonna be like, yeah, go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
No, definitely not. No, I mean, in that situation, which I think was what Dwight was going through. You know what I mean? And he was kind of like, fuck this guy. You know what I mean?
And it made him look like a bitch at the same time.
But what I mean is, it's like, he's eventually out, right? And he's working with the community. Like, that time has passed. You know what I mean? So, it's like, what, is he damned forever? Like, that's it? Like, he should just be dead?
That's your punishment, because we're all in hell right now, and you made it even fucking worse for us.
Okay.
Alpha pretty much told him, hey, stay in your borders, and we won't fucking go near you.
Yeah.
Just stay in your borders.
Yeah.
This guy was like, no, we're going to protect you whether you want it or not, and we demand tribute. We demand your food, which food is very precious. We want this order. We want this item. We want this item from you. Yeah. Hey, you know what? All these communities need everything you can get in order to survive, to make it to the next day.
But do you think that he would have gone that way if Rick hadn't killed those people? His people. I don't know. I feel as though like
if Rick, say Rick didn't go and he just says, hey, you know what? Don't give him crops. Negan's still gonna come, still gonna kill people for not giving them the props.
Yeah, for sure. I think that Rick could have took a stand and said, hey, the next time they come, we're going to protect y'all.
Okay, but then he would kill those guys.
Sure.
Then they'd still bring Negan.
There would still be a conflict or whatever.
You still bring him on. Even if you don't kill those people in the satellite, you're still going to kill them.
Yeah, that's true.
The war's still coming.
The war's still coming. Well, they were bound to clash, Rick and Negan,
because it's like, really, this dickhead has a fucking dictatorship over, at least the governor. At least he just governed his own community.
Yeah.
And he was all right until they came in and fucked with his brain and everything,
I don't know. The jars of heads was pretty wild.
I mean, but that was at least in his own room.
Yeah, that's true.
This guy bashes people just by doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Well, but let's say this. He could have just mowed them all down with bullets.
Why kill Abraham? Why kill Glenn?
Just for the fuck of it?
Yeah, just for the fuck of it.
Well, again,
he enjoyed it.
Definitely
he loved it, like
definitely
especially when he had Abraham. Oh, you took that like a champ.
Oh yeah,
like man,
take it like a champ edition of that.
And then with Glenn, he was laughing at him, seeing how ugly he looked.
Oh yeah, but his eye being popped out. It was definitely fucked up, man. Don't get me wrong. Like I was like, fuck, but yeah, I mean, I just
and then you let this person out. What happens if he starts talking to people?
Sure.
And you start influencing this person. You start influencing this person.
Here's the thing, though. In this world is so unlike anything AA that it's like, do you need people like him? Are guys like
trying
Rick
to get rid of people like him?
Yeah, but are guys like Rick? Are they fucking? You've often, in our personal conversations, not been a fan of his leadership,
and I don't like his leadership.
Maybe in a world like this, a guy like Negan is who you do need. Because they are a piece of shit, and they're gonna fucking take strong action.
Again,
he could have killed the whole group.
If he was a good leader, he could have got all 4 communities together, and he could have made it a really good spot in Georgia, where they could have all communicated with each other, where they could have put all their food together, distributed everything together. He could have been that really good leader. Instead, he chose to take it all for himself.
That's true too. Yeah, he definitely got greedy. I do feel as though, like, since the 6 years or whatever has gone and all that, like, I guess since we see the fast forward or whatever, and especially the thing with the Whisperers, like, to me, when they showed up, I was like, you gotta unleash the beast. You know what I mean? You gotta
fucking with, Alpha told them, just stay right there.
I felt
like Carol kept fucking picking at him.
I felt like she was an anarchist in a way, Alpha, and she wanted there to be. She believed she was even worse because she was like she
gave him warnings. She told him
she's like, you can't go back to the old ways. The ways now are of the dead.
Fine, like I'm like, it wasn't like insane, she was demanding crops. It wasn't like she was killing people. She told them over and over.
I think that she found the way they lived, trying to have a regular society, offensive to her. Like she was like a loony. She was like a whack job. Like I was like, what? I don't want to be walking around with the dead.
She sucked too, but
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I mean,
I liked when Negan killed her. To me, I felt like he kind of, he did, in my opinion, I think he earned a spot.
I like the Negan character. Don't get me wrong. It
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
like I don't, but I do like the Negan character. It's just, I'm sorry. If
I get it.
if there's a serial killer that killed people
Mhm.
and you just let him out because you need that serial killer, I mean, it's still dangerous to have that serial killer out there.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what he is. He's just a butcher. He's a cult leader that had so many people under his thumb. All of them were saying, I am Negan.
Yeah.
Whenever they're saying, where's Negan? I am Negan. I am Negan. It's like, damn, that's a cult already. A dangerous cult where he does steal the wives.
So what do you think about him in the moments that he has with, let me check how close we are to the break. I think we might be right up on it. You know what? Let's guys, let's go take a chance, take a timeout, go read over to the comments. Of course, if you're joining us Facebook Live, stay with us, join in the comments. Tell us what you think. Did you read this book? Here's Negan. Did you watch the episode?
And you can pick it up. It's at comic book store.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
It's a great, fun, short read, a single story. It's not that thick, you know what I mean? So it's just a good read if you're a fan of Negan or The Walking Dead. And this story exists outside the regular run.
It does.
There was 193 issues, and then this was like a side story. So we'll take a quick break, guys, just for the audio listeners, and we'll be right back, and we'll go ahead and read your comments. Guys, if you're still with us here on Facebook Live, you know that we're not going anywhere. Right here with you. Let's check it out. A little bit slow tonight, guys. Where's everybody at? Everybody kind of doing their own thing, getting back
John
out.
says, what's up? Thanks, John. Steve says, always best to take care of business, guy. So I guess Steve would be a Negan in that future.
Steve, you're a Negan guy there, Steve.
Hey, John, I think you earlier, but if you're still on, hopefully you're still on. Thank you for Serpentor. It's fucking awesome. It's going to be displayed here in the studio. So thank you again.
Cobra Commander better, but
well,
that's what dude.
Not a cartoon version, he's not.
Yeah, definitely not.
Steve, man, I guess you're just Negan. You're a CM here.
Man. I know.
You want to be a savior? I don't know.
Again, I loved Glenn and I liked Abraham a lot. I did not necessarily see that coming, and that part was awful, but a lot of time has passed.
When you bring communities to their knees on fear, if you don't do anything what I want, I'm going to kill someone here. That's brutal.
Yeah. My sister would agree with you. My sister is also still follows The Walking Dead. Untamable Amy, who's been on this show twice before. And I've long wanted to have a roundtable with like me, you, her, Fred Night or Jack, your wife, because we're all still really into the show, just to see. Maybe when the series completes, we could do that big talk. And I'll talk about.
Now I gotta admit, the Savior name though is a really cool name. I do like that. Cool probably name. Out of all the factions, Savior.
And there's a great line in the book about where he gets that name from. How he names them.
What a twist it, right? Like Savior is like supposed to be like Superman, right? And they just twist it to where it's them, Yeah.
So. I love the back. It says, who is Negan? Since his debut in The Walking Dead number 100, the charismatic psychopath has antagonized. Yeah, I love that. Charismatic psychopath. Has antagonized Rick Grimes, murdered his friend with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire, which he calls Lucille, and led the Saviors into an all-out war against Alexandria and the neighboring communities. But who was he before society broke down? That question will finally be answered in this collection. Which it wasn't like single issues that came out this year. It's a good hardcover too.
It's quick. It's a quick read. It's not very fat, and you can find it at comics. John goes, badass gift. This I command.
And then the snake right into Duke. Fuck you, Duke. That's what you get.
Yeah, he does die in the movie too.
Yeah, they said they wanted
in retaliation
in the movie.
Well, in retaliation.
I think they said they wanted him to die in the cartoon version, but it was so Optimus Prime was poorly received.
But see, honestly, if they had killed Duke, I don't think it would have been that much of a blowback like Optimus was.
Yeah, what rank was Duke anyway? Because I felt like
just like sergeants. Like all of them were almost just like sergeants.
General Hawk was the real general.
I think Flint was the second command. I think. Flint.
And who was with Lady J? Flint was with Lady J, right? Yeah.
Flint.
Yeah. Guys, what are y'all drinking tonight? I'm having a little bit of my one. Y'all know I've been liking the Dos Equis slime.
That's nice.
I drank too much last night, actually, and shouldn't be drinking it all. But hey, what are you going to do, right, guys?
John, thanks again. You and Roxanne, I got to thank her personally, so thank you.
Yeah, that was really awesome. Glad you guys, we all went in on that. Pretty cool gift. Well, guys, we're getting pretty close here, so let's go ahead and just wrap it
let's
up.
Try to wrap it up. 'Cause we got to head over to another one.
Yeah, we got to get in Christmas mode here, guys. So let's get back into the audio recording. If you're still hanging out with us, we appreciate you being here, and we'll wrap up on Here's Negan. Great story. Guys, you probably heard a brief little blip as we stepped out real quick to read the comments. Every 30 minutes we do that. We love you guys joining the conversation, having you guys here with us to read those. As you can see on the bottom, we are Negan. We are talking about the season finale of The Walking Dead season 10.
We have very different opinions.
Very different opinions. But I love that about our show, and that there's no love. I would love. We talked briefly in the break, guys, about potentially doing a round table maybe when the series finishes, including Double A's wife, who's a big fan. My sister's still a big fan and watches. And maybe Friday Night or Jack, who's been on here before from Toy Dojo, is also still following. And we go back and forth because you guys also didn't like Rick, you and Jack. And I like Rick. I think he's a good leader. You don't like Negan's leadership and you don't like Rick's leadership, though. So who for you would you say would be, or is there a style that you like? A King Ezekiel type? I mean,
Ezekiel did fine. Maggie's done fine. Okay. I mean, Rick just leads them into situations that are unwinnable. You know, like how they got captured by Negan's guys. You know, that was just stupid. That was just bad.
I don't like Maggie's character. I'm not saying that she should get over it.
Really?
I'm not saying that she should get over it, but yeah, when she was going really crazy and telling Rick, like, no, you need to kill him, like blah blah, like going nuts.
I agree with her. I felt sympathetic to her.
I get her opinion on that.
And I think she should have got the kill.
I get her opinion on that.
I was like, fuck you, Rick.
But at the same time, it was like, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like it was gonna just be never ending. In a way, he showed kind of mercy.
Nobody would ever even remember Negan, though.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like even so. What do you think about him, Double A, in the conversation that he's had with like guys with Carl, with Alpha's daughter? You don't see?
Well, he's always been like a mentor to the kids. That's always been his thing. That's a hallmark of Negan. Not raping at the kids. He's always very protective of the kids. Always.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry though. I mean, when you steal people's wives, when you hurt 3 communities instead of helping communities, you know, you have that leadership ability. You can do something really good with it, and instead you use it to force people against their will to do something that you want them to do. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah. I definitely hear what you're saying.
And then, like I said, you know, you turn the whole thing into a cult. We are Negan. I am Negan. I am Negan. You know, it's
now.
And then, you know, at the end of the episode too, you know, he gives Maggie that fucking shit-eating smile where you're just like, oh, you motherfucker. You know, like, man, how dare you even look at me and smile at me? Kind of like that smile. You know, like he looks at Maggie. It's like, really, motherfucker, you're gonna look at Maggie.
Well, you know, Carol tells him something that she's like, if you stay here, she is going to kill you. I think a better way would have been try to kill you.
Well, you know what? I'm actually kind of surprised how Maggie kind of holds herself. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe she is like you in a way where you're thinking, maybe we do need this guy, because she said she saw a lot of shit where she was at. Mm-hmm. I think she was at Nashville, right? Somewhere in Tennessee.
I think so. She says,
and she knows about this group that's coming.
Oh,
so maybe that's why she's putting up with
the Reavers.
She said that, man, those dudes are bad. She tried setting up a community over there, and it just didn't work. Yeah, and maybe that's why she's putting up with Negan. Because maybe she's like you. Maybe she realizes, I hate this motherfucker, but we need someone as ruthless as those guys in our group.
Hey, you got to think too. You want good fighters. That's what I think.
And I think that's what Maggie. Maggie's trying to find people. Yeah. Obviously, you saw. Yeah. She's traveling with those 2 guys.
Yeah, the guy with the mask is pretty cool and stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, like, that's kind of how I thought about it. Because, you know, remember, Carl has that vision, and even Negan's there with them helping, which we kind of do see kind of come to fruition or whatever. Like, because I do feel a little bit about what Carl said too, is like, at one point you have to, the killing has to stop, right? Because it's like, then you're just always back and forth, which we've seen. There's always some other group It's always back and fucking forth. It's
okay, but it's always Rick that's always picking the fucking fight.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
But again, if you're gonna pick the fight, I mean, it's like you want to have, you know what I mean? Like, there's no nukes in this world. You got to have a guy like Negan is like a warhead. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he can be. You know what I mean? Even though he's.
And
looking,
I'm thinking that's why Maggie's kind of put in, because she does a great job. Lauren Conrad, I forgot her name. The one who plays Maggie, she does a really great job.
Lauren Cohen.
She does a really good job of like showing where she's like, she's just like looking at him. There's hate.
Oh yeah,
but not like actually going out there and like motherfucker, move. Yeah.
I mean, I think
she knows what's coming.
I rewatched that scene too, and like he even says, like he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry," but he's like, there was going to be consequences. It wasn't like he chose Glenn to fuck her over. It was like it was Glenn. And again, this shit was fucking wild. I mean, like that was wild. I like the Glenn character, and in fact, I think when that season ended before, we all kind of were like, who would we be okay with like end up being dead or whatever?
Once I see that, we're having that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of like, oh, if he kills Aaron or Gabriel, I'm okay with that.
I was like, if he kills Eugene.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? Like shit. I mean, there was just certain things, but the book for what we know,
we knew what was going to happen, and we knew this was going to be Glenn.
Right.
Now, I was still surprised though when it was Abraham at first. I was like, oh shit, it was Abraham.
Yeah. And then another story came out recently that we both bought. It's either a cool story you've told multiple times about Negan Lives. Oh. So we know that the story ended or whatever, but they did another story, a solo story. About Negan.
It's kind of like. After the last issue, or was before?
I think it's supposed to be after.
It's flash forward, way into the future.
Yeah, it's flash forward, and we get to kind of
the motherfucker survive.
Now this one is definitely a week. There should have been more to it than that, like more pumped up, because he's such a good character. I think a great character, and I say that it's almost like the Joker. We talk about the Joker being a great character. He's a fucking murdering psychopath, but he's obviously so interesting and intriguing to everybody, and that's exactly how we feel about. For me, I would say we feel about Negan too. Obviously. Yeah. So we ordered. These.
We snagged them up.
Yeah, we ordered these books, Double A and myself, from an awesome comic shop that had Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
It wasn't in Texas. It wasn't here in Texas. It was somewhere. We saw it on Twitter that he was going to be signing a shit. Well, at first it was only going to be like 100.
Right. Yeah.
And I guess the demand was just so much that. He ended up doing like almost 500, 600.
Yeah, he signed a whole bunch, and it was all like everything was closed.
Because I remember seeing was like, shit, I don't know if I'm going to get my autograph. And then when it came out more and more, I was like, oh yeah, you're getting yours.
And I ordered 2 copies because they told you could order multiple copies, but he was only going to sign 1. And so one wasn't signed and one is.
That was fine with me.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, the one signed is very cool. I want to get it framed, I think. Put it up.
I need to get it framed.
Yeah. But guys, like we said, we're going to close it out on here. We're going to read the last few comments.
What do you think? What do you think about Negan? Do you agree with CM? Do you agree with me? Do you have your own? I mean, but it is a cool story. It's a cool character.
Fun read.
The Here's Negan in this book is a lot different than the Here's Negan in the Walking Dead, but I would recommend go watch the episode. And if you go to your local comic store, I'm sure you should have it.
Yeah.
It's a real good story. $20,
Like I said, I found mine at Barnes and Nobles, and
it has that issue 100.
Yeah, the classic issue where Glenn dies, and it's his first appearance.
Yeah,
so cool.
Cool character, one of the best characters ever in comics.
We always say this on this show. You need a good villain. Rick needed a good somebody to go against, and you love to hate him. You want to love to hate him.
Yeah.
So. All right, last few comments here. Looks like Steve was hanging out with us still.
Yeah, he was saying Retaliation, just like the Veloci Papers, Double A. You need to watch it.
Yes, we do need to watch it. I've been looking it up, Steve, and I can't find it anywhere. I think even if you try to order a DVD copy, it's like $20.
Okay.
So we definitely want to watch that one, Steve. I know you mentioned it.
Steve says, thanks, guys. Awesome show. Maggie is just too sexy.
Yes.
That's just me.
Definitely agree with you on that one, Steve. She's very hot.
And Steve signs out, says, talk next week, guys.
Steve, we appreciate you being here, man.
And CM has your shirt.
Yeah, we got to meet up, man. Let's maybe, let me know where you want to. It's so hot now. But we could drink some brew somewhere outdoors.
Maybe if you got, I know some days next week, it's going to be in the low 80s.
Yeah. So
maybe you can meet up there.
I've been trying to go out more to Tandem also, Steve. It's a cool, like I said, the coffee beer joint or whatever. And they got a little bit of everything to drink over there. Support our boys from Luchador, Jesse and Billy, and their other owners. So Foxy Roxy says, good night, guys. Right. I'm wearing my J Adventure. Yes, thank you for your purchase today, Roxanne. That was really awesome. And Nate Rolone, if you're out there, my brother, I really appreciate you coming by and picking up your shirt and buying a shirt. Really helped. Joe got your shirt. Yelly and Mar got your sweaters. So let me know what you guys. And Crystal, I will put aside that medium in red for you.
Oh, and Mario too.
And Mario also, the blue one, the first blue one in large. I got you, brother. I'm gonna put those aside right now. Guys, don't forget, we're gonna be on another podcast called Tis the not Tis the Podcast. I haven't been invited there yet. Totally Rad Christmas with Jerry Davila, Jerry D, as he calls himself on his show. Please go check it out. Listen to the episode with Joe Martinez last week. Their current episode that's out right now. It's a really fun show. It's not like ours. It's Christmas centric, and they talk about a lot of great stuff from the 80s. It just makes you, man, remember those times being a little kid and loving it. So, but before we get out of here, anything else, Double A?
Oh man, just get your vaccination so we can all go out again.
Yeah, totally.
Check out the episode. Check out the book.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. If you love Negan, you're gonna love it.
Yeah. You can probably find it cheaper now too, since it's been out. So
yeah. So before we go, something we always like to say on this show, guys, if there's something that you want to do, something you want to accomplish, a hope, a dream, whatever it may be,
you want to take over some communities.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want to be a bad motherfucker like Negan says,
you want to be a leader, a cult of personality.
This guy sees the day. Yeah, they call him that, right? It's a cult of personality with no cult. Yeah, I thought that was fucking very cool. Sees the day like Negan did. Maybe not the way exactly he did it, but he sees the day. And when you want to do things like that, you got to do whatever it takes.
Like he did.
Negan definitely knows about doing whatever it takes, and he did. And so, guys, if your day-to-day life, we want you to smash heads the metaphysical way, not the literal way, but metaphysically. Go out there, smash heads, take over, take charge, seize the day, do whatever it takes, guys. For myself, I am not CM Chuck tonight. Oh. I am Negan.
Oh, shit.
Double A.
Good night, guys. It was a fun Friday night. I hope you really enjoyed it. We'll be back next week, man.
We'll be back next week, guys. And check us out on Totally Rad Christmas. It's going to be fun. Fun show. Yeah. Also, guys, don't forget our good buddy, too, Lucky the Dork Dad, says he may have something coming up in a new form of a new podcast with Joe Martinez, Friday Joe Martinez. So there may be a new podcast duo out on the scene there.
All right.
And we're going to have to let them know, little pig, let me in. All right, guys. See you, check double A. We're out of here. Good night.